Hello everybody, welcome back to another Assassin's Creed stream. I showcased the game a little bit off stream, so we're not at the same spot we left off last time, but I haven't made any progress since then, so looking forward to playing more today. Let me really check here. Okay, and we're all good to go. Very nice. Okay, let's go. Everything should be okay. The technical review from Digital Foundry is out, and oh yeah, control it, turn it on. And seems to be having like the frame time dips during the cities that I'm experiencing in all systems, so that's normal, I guess. So nothing to worry about there. But it does happen quite infrequently, and the real issue was caused by OBS initially, so now it seems to work just fine. And also, allegedly, the game does not have issues with the option menu disappearing, like the DLSS option disappearing when you don't plug in your controller right away. But I don't know if that is true. So far it seems to have worked for me, so I always plug in the controller afterwards. But yeah, that's basically my fix for the option menu disappearing here. Okay, and we just unlocked Yasuke in our final playthrough, like during our final minutes or hours, I guess, of the last playthrough. And yeah, we were not impressed by him. And Digital Foundry found something interesting, that there is a time of day dependent frame rate shift. And resetting options seems to reset the performance impact, but it's only during dusk and dawn. But my assumption is that maybe these times of day have increased fog or something. And that's maybe why there might be a frame rate dip, and resetting options maybe reset something about that. But I don't know, there might also just be a bug, yeah. But also obviously different times of day have different visual effects active. So a generalistic difference in frame rate would not be too surprising to me. Okay, and we're still using MFG 3X and the new transformer models, 1080p to 4K, and still looks really, really good every time I play the game. And yeah, now let's continue with what we've been doing. So we can relax at the campfire, and go and destroy the cache here. I don't know, honestly, what we should be doing. Like, these are just active at all times. And yeah, I don't even know if it's worth going for them, honestly, most of the time. Also still have a collection of quests mission here where I think we need to be Yasuo for. Yeah, I'm not sure. I am not sure what to do right now. There's also this side mission here that gives us XP. Yeah, maybe let's just start with this one here. Okay, cool. We are back. Yeah, I haven't really played last days, so I might be a bit rusty. But we'll see. And the game looks fucking amazing every time I play. Yeah, I just forgot how to summon the mount here. Wait, what? Okay. If we wanted to, we could also play with MFG 2X, but as we already established, I think the direct frame rate increase from 3X was linear, so it seems pretty good. Wait, what? How? I didn't move! Bastards. Yeah, like I said, I haven't warmed up. Oh my god, look at how much we heal now. That is crazy. Well, that is actually crazy. Yeah, I still wonder if the 3% insta-gib chance is good enough. Wow, he almost one-shot me there. Yeah, is armor pen worth it? Because does armor pen reduce... Does armor pen reduce your damage to armor? Because then it would be kind of useless, because most strong enemies we're gonna end up doing the armor damage anyway. Okay, nice. Yeah, often I have my looting button on B, but the thing is, in this case, obviously, for obvious reasons, it's more important to have it accessible quickly for crouch. Yeah, I still don't have a controller with back pedals, which I might consider getting in the future, but I'm not 100% sure about that one. Okay, we have to sort every single time I want to interact with it, and I'm like confused. Yeah, we're gonna need some materials to upgrade Yasuo's gear, Yasuke's gear. So I want to see Yasuo. I don't even know. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know if the game had any updates since we last played. I don't think it did, but yeah, everything here seems to be still on high. Yeah, I think, you know, Digital Foundry is a bit too lenient there. They say the option menu is good and they have comparison images. That's true, but it still misses the basic feature of showing you when something is fully maxed. I still think having an easy way to tell that your settings are at max, or at minimum for that matter, would be kind of nice, like at a glance. Yeah, I still think that would be very much appreciated on my end. And yeah, it's just like a sanity thing, right? If you want to crank it, I mean, yeah, most people won't crank the game because it runs like shit for them then. I get it. But in general, right, in some games you just want to crank it all up, and then, you know, seeing that right away for me is pretty nice. Oh wait, you're an NPC. Sorry, my bad, my bad. I'm completely confused every single time. Yeah, and they also, he obviously mentioned the 30 FPS thing, but I think they did miss some things. The loading before the cutscenes is way more annoying than the 30 FPS for me when interacting with these NPCs here, because the cutscene doesn't matter. It's just about, you know, finishing the transaction and and having a loading screen every time there is pretty jarring and also kind of useless. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what to make of that, to be honest. Yeah, cozy 200 FPS using MFG here. And yeah, usually it would be more like 140 with 2x. So I think that is really, really good. And I kind of am surprised by how well the game actually manages to hit the target number on high-end systems, right? This system basically runs the game perfectly on highest settings, but it is maxed out. So it's like they really either had a good sense for what the hardware would be at the time of release, or they wanted to future-proof it slightly. But I mean, just like honestly, it's like, it is freaking amazing. And it seems like a lot of games also are going back to this more physical-based stuff in the future, because I've seen other games also go with more physics-based rendering. And I think that is so nice, right? Just having these like base systems that make it, you know, more interesting to play a game, for me is really, really nice. It's just a 2-piece. No, it's a 3-piece. No, it's a 5-piece. Oh my god, it's a 100-piece. Okay. Well, if a good thing we have a way of trivializing any fight.
町の人々を脅しておるなら見過ごすことはできん。
脅し？この程度は脅しとは言わん。
Yeah, that's cool, right? Just like in-game conversations. Yeah, for me that is cool. No weird cutscene, just like get right into the dialogue. That would have been so nice for everything, honestly. Yeah, I think it always takes you out of the game if that happens. But did they reduce the loading screens, or I'm just getting lucky here?
何かわしにできることはないか。
いいや、礼ならいらんぞ。
いらっしゃい、お若い武者さん。
Okay, what does he sell? Gear vendor. Ooh, 3% health restore and crit. I'm just trying to map that to the ration. 10 crits would be 30%. 25% of the crits give us rations, so that would be 2.5 rations on 10 crits. Which is way more. Okay, I'm just easy math, right? 10 crits would be 30% HP. One ratio gives us 25% of the crits give us rations. So that would mean 2.5 rations on average, and 2.5 rations heal way more than 30%. So that's an easy math here. Ah, that is interesting though. 30% crit when hitting vulnerable enemies, but we don't have a lot of things that call us vulnerable on enemies, so I'm not sure I want to get that or not. 35% adrenaline gain when health is full. Oh yeah, we said we wanted to get a katana that is blue. Oh, this one has critical damage. And 70% when hitting multiple enemies. Oh no, that's on the sickle here. Yeah, and unfortunately, we don't have a katana that has a build up here. Let me check quickly. Oh no, we do already. Oh, nice. Okay, this one has adrenaline gain and 4% crit with abilities. Yeah, we do want to get a build up here instead. Do we have one that gives us build up? No. Yeah, that's really unfortunate because this one would be better, but it doesn't give us the 15% damage bonus from this here. No, wait. This here? Yeah, so we want to go for a non-legendary here. An epic or something would be nice. Yeah, but it's going to take a little bit of time until we're there. Wait, what are we doing? Wait. Why were they afraid of me? Aren't they like defending this place? Oh, whatever. I don't want to go in the castle, and there's a bell too. But I don't really care about that one too much. Okay, so where to next? Side missions, main missions, accepting this quest as Yasuke, but Yasuke is still wanted, isn't he? Well, how do I know he's wanted though? When I don't equip when I don't swap to him. I think he was wanted as far as I remember, and I think he was only wanted in that region though. Sure, let's do this mission here. A collection of crests, and we need to be as Yasuke, and he might be wanted still, or we had a season change. No, I think we had a season change because I demonstrated it to Jessica, so he should not be wanted anymore. Hopefully. And right, we shouldn't forget to summon her either. Yeah, I don't even know what build do we have on Yasuke. It's gonna be so annoying to manage two characters, honestly. Okay, so we gave him tons of raw damage here. Yeah, he just has tons of raw damage, which I think is pretty good. Yeah, I still don't like that Digital Foundry often goes for 60 FPS. Like, they're like, oh yeah, you can lock the FPS to remove the stutters, and they go from 140 to 60, and I'm like, no, fuck no. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Like I mean, maybe it's just my eyes to see better. I don't know, but for me, like going from 140 to 60 is literally adding so much motion blur that I just can't take it. No, this one still had a loading screen.
信長様に仕えておった弥助殿か。お目にかかれて誠に光栄じゃ。知っておられたか。太田牛一と申す。以前は武士であったが、今は血よりも墨をこぼす日々を送っておる。信長様の右筆衆と呼ばれておった御人か。しかり、日々の事柄を記しておった。いや、それだけではないか。この平乱の世を記録せずにはおれなかったのじゃ。お主は信長様のおそばにはべり、さまざまな大事を見てきたはずだ。実に羨ましい。信長様のようなお方は二度と現れまい。故に、あのお方とその成したこととを胸に留めねば。そのためには家紋が欠かせぬのじゃ。家紋？あまり馴染みがないのだが。家紋とは、武士や大名、その一族が自らの家を表すために用いる紋所じゃ。紋は一向一騎衆なども用いており、それを集めることで各々のつながりを知り、それがしの書き留めを整理できるのではないかと考えておるのじゃ。家紋の持ち主に直に当たればよかろう。多くの者が協力したがるに違いない。ああ、書き綴る対象とは関わりとうないのでな。書くべき事柄を変えようと、あれこれ指図してくるかもしれぬゆえ。承知した。それがしが手を貸そう。かたじけない。聞くところによると、家紋の写しは他とは違う上等なつづらに収めているものが多いという。見かけたら手に入れて届けよう。
Wait, does Yasuke have long hair? His character model is really pretty. But I never checked. Does he have... Yeah, I think he might be one of the characters that doesn't use the hair strand system because he has like braided hair. I never thought about that. Maybe his performance is also better, but we would have to compare this hair with non-hair stranded system. But that's really interesting. Oh, you know what? We have to turn off the helmet for him. And we absolutely have to turn off the helmet. The helmet is so massive and so it takes away so much of our field of view. Yeah, that is definitely something we're going to do here. Turn off, remove the helmet. Yeah, I didn't think of that last time. I was so tilted that I didn't think of solutions. I mean, do we have a headgear that is not a helmet? No. So let's hide this one. You know what? I know, this is not too... I'm not kidding. I will take off his armor. You might say, what the fuck are you doing? The reason why I'm doing this is... I'm going to demonstrate it again, because people are just going to think I'm memeing here. I'm just going to do a quick demonstration of why I will play naked. And that is not because I like him being naked. That's because I think the gameplay first approach I usually like is perfectly fine. So let's go and quickly align him with the gate here, okay? So, as you can see, I mean, I would like him to stand normally, but he doesn't. Okay, well, that's fine. Okay, so this is basically him taking up visually almost the entire gate, right? You can see this, right? You go all the way to the top of the gate, and yeah, he's really, really big. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, you know, remove his armor and his helmet, as such. And just look at this, right? I can see so much more of the gate I can see, yeah, it's so much better. I wish I could wear my pants though. Yeah, if I have any complaint now, it's that my oh wait, is this one thinner maybe? Ah, it's still pretty thick, isn't it? What does it even do? I haven't equipped it because I think it had bad stats or something. Yeah, can parry unblockable attacks. I didn't care about that. Okay, let's be real. I have to compare the two because as much as I think I like it more visually, as much as I also don't want to run around naked because it's kind of silly, isn't it? I mean, it's cool that you have the choice, I guess, but at the same time, I would have appreciated it to be if it was a bit less silly. So let's just align ourselves with the gate again. So I get an impression of how big he is. Okay, this is again him taking up more than the gate even. And let's see what happens if we go for the other look. I assume it's slightly smaller because it doesn't have as much padding, but I mean, it is slightly smaller. But very slightly smaller. I'm like... Yeah, I'm trying to find out if... Yeah, I mean, not really much, right? Not really by much. Okay, now he's moving around, which doesn't really help. But... What does this one look like even? I mean, honestly, it kind of looks... I want to say stupid, but also kind of... I look like a Marvel superhero that's wearing the most unfitting shoe combination I've ever seen in my life. It's kind of interesting. The shoes don't seem to match the quality of the rest of the gear, right? It's like such high production value, and then you have like the bag that just looks kind of... Not the back, right? The legs that look kind of cheap. You know what? I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna play naked, and not because I want him to be naked, but because I want to see more of the game while playing with him. I mean, it's so silly though. Ah, man. See, this is what I don't like. I don't want to make silly choices because of gameplay reasons. Oh, man, that pisses me off. Just wearing pants would be enough, man. I don't mind the topless. Honestly, I don't mind it in general, but also at the same time, I mean, no helmet is a given, right? There's no way you're gonna wear a helmet. I just want to have... I need another impression of how much more I can see. Okay, well now we're in the shadows, which sucks, because okay, let's use this one instead. Can we use this one because it has like some gate features. Okay, so this is us from behind in a normal posture, right? So we almost completely cover up everything. And now when I remove this, let's see. I mean, I'm wondering why not the left side? It's kind of confusing, I guess. Okay, now we have plenty space where we can see shit. I mean, the armor makes him way more massive. It makes sense, but also at the same time. I mean, it's not horrible. Maybe. Let's turn back on the helmet. Yeah, the helmet is absolutely fucking awful. I mean, let's be real. Most of the relevant part is going to be above his shoulders, right? So now he roughly matches. Let's go a bit further back. Okay, now he's like almost covering up everything here. It's really hard to do the small adjustments here. My sensitivity is rather high and the game accelerates quite quickly, which is nice, but not nice for these fine adjustments. Okay, So this, I think, would be a quite realistic camera perspective here. Okay, so first of all, let's turn off the helmet, because that's obviously what we want to do. Okay, now suddenly we're more to the left. Okay, so this basically is really what it would look like. And now, obviously, removing the shoulders, you can see the difference here, right? Like, visually, it does cover up significantly more. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to run like this. And I also don't like that when you sprint, he zooms in. Like, why? I mean, is it even faster for him? I think it is, but I hate that you zoom in because of the ramming mechanic. But okay, whatever. Why? Don't worry about it, just a normal... Oh, they're doing Rakuge. There's a great anime about that. Is it Rakugo? Rakuge, I forgot. But yeah, there's a great anime about that. And do I find it personally interesting and attractive? I don't think so. I think Rakuge is not for me, but the anime definitely was for me, because it was about more than the Rakuge itself. It's cool that we can still see the charms, though, like, attached to us. Is the front part of the charm? Or is it something else? It's part of what, actually? Huh? Oh, it's part of this. Okay, that is interesting. Wait, did we already do something? Yeah, I wonder, do we? Ah, okay. Kamon. Okay, so they're looking for Kamon. I mean, he's still close to the camera, which is still annoying, but it's not as annoying as it was before, I think. I kind of find it so silly to be naked, though. Can we just get like some kind of very minimalistic armor that doesn't look like a fucking mega tank? Yeah, no helmet already helps tremendously, but when you zoom in, it just still takes up a bunch of your vision. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna revisit that maybe once we have another armor set. I think I'm gonna play without it for now. Yeah, this just gives us more vision. And that's so unfortunate. I don't want to run around naked, but at the same time, the way of the samurai can be very interesting. And also there are other people that are... See, we're not alone. He's sharing our fashion. Okay, he's wearing pants. Why we're not wearing pants, I don't know, but that it's just what it is. Man, I just wish... Yeah, just give me a fucking normal casual outfit visually. She's like, oh, what the fuck? Ooh. Okay, retrieve all clan crests. What the fuck are you talking about? It's collecting. Clan crests are kept in dedicated containers, but where? Huh? What the fuck is he talking about? Is it like around his place? This one? Wait, is this a container? Sorry, my bad. I'm just like trying to figure out how to access the container. Absolutely my bad, guys. Don't worry about it. Yeah, obviously the preferred solution would be the camera would be further away and the armor wouldn't be as bothersome as a result, but I'll take this one. I'm not sure though. I'm not. Oh, look at her beautiful kimono. Huh? Ah, yeah, I forgot. I mean, look at me. I wouldn't be surprised if you jumped inside of the water if you saw me. No, he's just bowing and bowing endlessly. ultimate beta response. I like, by the way, how some people argue that humans don't have alpha male behavior and stuff like that. And then I just look at society and politicians and celebrities, which basically are treated as alpha males by almost everybody. And I'm like, kind of contradiction, right? Like what we see in the real world and what studies say. Yeah, so I think there is something like an alpha male for sure. Like you also have clan leaders and stuff like that. I mean, yes, maybe it's not like a as easy to correlate thing to specific attributes, but I'm pretty sure there are people that are like highly regarded in society versus others for, you know, alpha male reasons. Okay, oh, that pisses me off. Jesus Christ. Now that I've seen him without armor, it makes no sense that he climbs so slow. He should be going up this like instantly. What is he doing? Okay, but what are we doing? Like there are crests somewhere in the world. Okay, great. Yeah, I think the game really makes it hard for me to sometimes focus on objectives. I kept in dedicated containers. That is such a useless piece of information. I mean, how about you tell me where it is, for starters, right? How about I know where it is so I can make a more informed decision? Oh, and also the VSync option locks FPS to 1 FPS higher than the VSync target in this game. And also the FPS lock does that, so I think you have to use external tools like the NVIDIA control panel or something to enforce VSync. Beautiful church. Yeah. Okay, where do we go from here though? Where do we go from here? What do we do? Maybe another objective? Talk to Sen no Rikyu. But do I want to? I assassinate the Kabikumono leaders. Kabikumono leaders. And these three were pretty far away, so that's why we didn't do that. We could also go with the League, I guess. Oh, Junryo, okay. Relax by the campfire. I mean, we could do that, but also at the same time, once we're back at the base, we're gonna do that. Meet Lady Nene. But do we do story missions from characters? I guess we do, maybe. He is in Omi. Oh my. Is Omi not a completely different place? Yes. Yes, yeah. So according to that, he is in Omi. Or we could also go by the... Go here and just get the things. Assassinate. You know what? We're just gonna open the map and select the target. Do we need to do this with him or Naoi? I don't know. I'm just gonna play whatever character is available at the moment until they get like... They get wanted. Yeah, they should have maybe. I know there's no dedicated pants slot, but at the same time, I wish there was. Just a small shorts or something would have been nice. What I kind of don't like about this underwear is that it, unlike other people's underwear I've seen in the game, it doesn't go for the thong look. It should have a thong look, to be honest. I think this one is kind of weird. It's just, if it was a thong, I think would have been much nicer. Yeah, can I pray too? No? Okay, fuck you. Oh my god, the game is so pretty. Oh, look at those trees. What the fuck's going on with them? Interesting. Ooh, a deer. Umenomiya Taisha shrine. There, by the way, there is a shrine in, I think, Iga, in Todaiji, where we were. So I hope I don't forget until we get to Todaiji with the two towers. And there's only one standing these days. The fuck are these cats? Why are there so many cats? Left as livestock by the Chinese. No. Okay, can we pet them? Or is it not allowed to pet cats as Yasue? Yasuke. No, is it his domain if there are like a billion other cats here? Just asking. Yeah, the team who does Mist also had to lay off half their staff. So it really affects almost every studio. It's just what it is at the moment, unfortunately. But that is quite common, right? When there's... Oh, look how cute she's lying there. Yeah, basically, whenever there's like explosive growth, companies just overhire, and and once then reality comes back, or the growth projections are more realistic, you do have to, unfortunately, often let go of your staff. Oh my gosh, she's so small. How are we gonna pet her? What the fuck? They're so small and cute. Okay, but we have to kill someone here. Is it you? Huh? Does she worry if I look at her? I didn't even pull out my tepo, whatever it's called. Oh, that's her. Takashi Ichihime, the Twisted Tree. We can spare her. Wait, this is how you spare them? What? I didn't know, man. We probably could have spared more of them. Where do we go next? Another assassination target. I mean, there's like also a bunch of question marks here. Oh, 26. Wait, does he have another sound effect when getting a level up? No, right? It's the same. Man, the zoom in on sprint is unbelievably stupid. Whoever had that idea. So basically, it almost feels like they don't want you to sprint with him. Like, his exploration is ass. That's what I'm trying to say, basically. Hi. The Kano Painting School. Okay. Don't even know what the purpose of that is, but... Sure, there's something else here. Oh, it looks like another shrine. But this one's probably guarded because there are walls. No way, you can't get up there. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god. Okay, so basically the game is telling you to play Naue, because she's the one. Oh my god, white Akita. Let me pet him. Let me pet him, game! What the fuck are you doing? Oh my god, game, fuck you. The only interactions that don't work well are the ones where you pet animals for whatever reason. Thank god he doesn't. Okay. Yeah, so basically Naue would be the better exploration character for sure. The Furo of Kyoto. Okay. What is the Furo of Kyoto? Oh, sorry about that. Ah. Huh? It's looking forbidden? Hygiene and urbanism. Oh, it's like a bathing house? I mean, bathing garden, I guess? Wait, can we bathe? No, oh my god, like he's incredible and not going in. Okay, I guess we can't. Yeah, the sprint is I mean, really, these decisions are unbelievable. Like, yeah, for combat, I get it, right? But for exploration, why the fuck? Right? Why the fuck would you ever decide that that is a good idea? I'm truly baffled by that decision. Because most of the game is exploration, so it's basically already setting up Yasuke to be kind of useless. Because every time you see this, you're like, oh, I wish I was just her so I can climb over it. And that kind of, for me personally, that defeats the purpose of playing a character, right? Because look at this, like, what am I meant to do here? Like, it is a miserable experience. Yeah, so I guess what we're gonna do here is swap character. And if that was seamless, I would not complain. If this was like Genshin Impact, you would not hear me complain, but this is not seamless, right? Like, this is a 10-second combined interaction for a simple thing like getting over a wall. Like, I'm sorry, but that just makes that makes her the default character for sure. Like, they didn't design him to be useful. Takahashi Taro. Are we gonna spare everyone? Is that what we do now? Hello, Takahashi. No, I don't want to assassinate you. I want to talk to you. Can we talk? Hello. Huh? I guess this one does not have a talking option? Or am I stupid? Huh? Okay, so we do this before an assassination to find out if they have a thing. But you said her brother, but maybe this is not her brother. Who was she even? Takahashi Taro. Takahashi Ichiime. Takahashi Shio. Wait, was that her brother? Wait, they're all Takahashi. She said her brother, but how? You must show he is as cruel as his precedent. But okay, so wait, how do you know if you can spare someone? Is it just by using this interaction here? I'm gonna look that up because I want to know how to spare people. Blah blah blah. Yeah, but I don't know how. How do you know? Hmm. And Takahashi Goro. Oh, Takahashi Goro is the brother. Okay, so who's Takahashi Goro? This is Takahashi Taro. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. If there's no spare, here you go, bitch. I'm not gonna fucking think twice about this. Okay, he doesn't think twice either.
五郎は生まれるように間違えたようだ。焼け跡で何を探しておったんじゃ。
Nice. Ooh, a katana for him. Interesting. Obviously, we could go and check it out, but wait, don't worry about it. We can't, because... Oh no, wait, can we swap to his inventory? No, we can't. So we would have to swap completely to equip his new weapons, which is... oh no, never mind. I was... wait, why is this different, though? With, the upgrade menu, you have it at the bottom on the right stick when you press it, and here it's just, like, on the left here. That seems like tacked on almost. But yeah, let's check his weapon here. And hey, Debrashi, hope you're doing well. 35? Wait, what? Oh, it must be from the other one. Okay. This one has bleed buildup, 20% armor damage, which is good. Maybe not as good as the other one. And we could give him the other one. And we have to go back to engrave. Okay. I think they give you too many reasons to go back to the hideout. It seems almost a bit forced. But yeah, it makes sense from a logic perspective. But at the same time, also, I am kind of confused. Okay, there's another quest here. Let's just go there. I have no idea what the fuck to do, to be honest. There's so much shit on my map now that I'm literally impossible. It's impossible for me to decide. Wait, what does she look like naked? So we have parity maybe between the two. Just kidding. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. Because the reason why I'm not going to let her run around like this is very, very simple. Because her clothes and her body in general are already so small that, you know, the difference here, yes, there is a difference. But you can see it's like minimal, right? So obviously I'm going to keep her clothing on here. I mean, is there a reason not to? It's just free XP, isn't it? Right, like it's free 10 XP, maybe some loot or something. Why?
わしの悩み事に手を貸してくれるやもと思うから今日で動乱が続く中野党の動きが大胆になっておる余打ちが増えておるのだ
侍がよそ者に助けを求めるのか
ここでは我らに対する風当たりが厳しいのだ当然ではあるがなわしが殺せば民の目にはお上の暴虐と映り道理なしと言われかねん
私がやっても変わらん道理が必要かは民が判断すべきだろうお
主は面が割れておらぬゆえ動いたとて妙なお仕事は招かん野党の夜討ちに民は苦しんでおる民を守るには奴らに天誅を下す
Yeah, absolutely agree with him, man. Fuck it.
野党は私がどうにかしよう
済んだら戻ってきてもらえぬか礼を尽くしたい
In all of Japan, you have the only blacksmith. True. Yeah, I mean, that's just what it is, right? That's what you call an advantage. Sorry, my bad, I didn't see you guys. Didn't want to start a fight when there was more than one person. Beautiful. Very totemo usushi. Okay, where the fuck do we go now? Oh my god, every time I take a quest and I don't know where to go afterwards, I'm fucking losing my mind. Okay, this is T-Master. He's just next to me, but he doesn't show the map me on the map. That's perfectly on the radar. Perfectly fine though. Hi, T-Master. Are you there? Yes, up here. Wait, do we have the stuttering when opening and closing doors that Digital Foundry has? I don't think I have that, honestly. No. That's funny. So he had an issue after a patch I don't have. Look at the beautiful tea set here. Could also be recording. Honestly, who knows? I mean, let's go halfway because we're nice. No, I think halfway is nice, as always. Are we equals?
お教えいただいたことしかと覚えております。
天の下では皆等しい。それはわしとそなたもしかり。
ご挨拶が遅れましたが、私は直江と申します。今日へはいかようで。
友が茶室を建てるのを助けておるのだが、見込んでいたよりも大掛かりなことになってしもうてな。されどこの間にはえも言われぬような詫びの趣がある。
つまり完全ならざるものの美しさと。
つつましく素朴で欠けたように見え、欠けておらぬもの。
確かにつつましく何か欠けているようにも思われます。
まあもう少々手を加える必要はあるやもな。
茶の道とは茶室の作りにまで及ぶのですね。
どうであった。早急殿は習得の秘釈を喜ばれたか。
はい、利休殿からと聞き、お心遣いに何かお返しせねばとおっしゃっておりました。
さようか。
利休殿には誠によくしていただきました。
実はわしもそなたに頼みがある。茶碗がなければ茶室とは呼べぬ。旅の道中いくつか手に入れてきてはくれぬか。
どういった場所を探せば。
小さな村にもいかなる宝が隠れておるかわからぬもの。見つけたら何でも持ってくるがよい。
はい。
So these are like quests where you just like randomly get shit, I guess. Do we have some? Let's quickly find out here.
して茶碗探しの守備はどうだ。そなたは力を尽くしてくれておる。
Can you say it faster? I don't have any, right? Okay, I don't have any. Okay, cool. So this is more of a long-term do it on the side mission, which is nice. And yeah, what are you saying about the Tanto? I said that already many times. I think the only thing they need to change is because you auto-equip it, right? The Tanto for double assassination is auto-equipped no matter if you have it equipped or not. But the thing is, afterwards it doesn't switch back, and they need to change that. That's the only thing. If they swap back after using the Tanto, you would be fine. I mean, even worse would be if you had to swap ahead of time, use it and swap again. But now they're halfway there. They just need to add an auto swap back and it would be completely okay. Yeah, but obviously limits your gear choice as well. So I don't know if that is a reason that it affects you, but yeah, the gear choice is a bit limited in that regard for sure. I don't know if other weapons have similar like attributes or effects that are only active while they're equipped. Yeah, so I would have to look into that later the more I play. But yeah, for sure there's just like just the swapping back is basically missing for me personally. Otherwise I am fine with this. This is the Imperial Palace, which we have not done yet, so let's maybe do this one. And I really like how it shows up on my map. On my radar. Yeah, the radar is so fucking useless in this one. Or only use it when doing assassinations but not have it equipped. I mean, you don't need to equip it for the assassinations, right? It auto-equips them for the assassination. I mean, okay, you mean you don't have to have them equipped at all in your inventory, but if you have it on slot B and you have A equipped, you can just do it, right? So it auto swaps to them. But yeah, it kind of limits your custom. You can't go katana and thing if you want to go for assassination. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, in general, I think if I would design it, I don't know how other weapons behave, if they have the same effect. If every weapon has like a unique effect and it's balanced and fun, that's fine. Otherwise, I also think, yeah, maybe the double assassination should have been possible with any weapon, yeah. Like it was in any other Assassin's Creed. But I don't know, I don't have the other weapons so far that I know they will be required for something similar. But if they aren't, I would feel like it's kind of awkward, yeah. It's kind of tacked on anyway, because, yeah, I don't know. In my opinion, just double assassination always work, no problem. Would be fine, unless there is a significant reason that other weapons have like really cool effects or something. What are you all doing here? Wait, I wanted to go for the... Man, I don't want to tag it, but it is literally in front of me, but there is no mark. Okay, now it's 100 meters, right? I think. That's a complete joke. And the reason why it is a complete joke, I'll just like show you. I'm pretty sure the Imperial Palace is this, right? This square here. And since the marker is not even centered, it means if you're here, you're almost within the range of the, you know, this without even seeing it. Right? It's, yeah, it should be at least 500 or at least 250 for some, right? 250 to 500.
それでなぜそこまで怒るのだ。妹君の一姫様に送りたかったらしい。御殿の堀でも感触を起こしたとか。なんてことじゃ。
And the hair is so cool.
見回りの道を変えたとか。辻切りする相手がもうおらんのじゃな。
まだ辻切りを続けておられるのか。父親譲りの非道さよ。警護を命じられねばよいが。
I still wonder why this bald hairstyle was like a thing in Japan. I mean, natural balding, okay, can't do anything about it, but on choice, kind of interesting. I do. Oh, wait, behind me? Wait, but you can't even get outside, so haha, I have nothing to worry about, bitch. And yeah, I know what you mean. You don't want to have it equipped at all, which I think I can agree. In general, Assassin's Creed has been a lot about quality of life improvements over time. Right? Oh, they're still aggro to me through the wall? No. Are they? No. Yeah, so Assassin's Creed has been a lot about quality of life improvements, auto-looting, everything. And I think in this case, obviously, it seems like a very... What the fuck? It seems like a very... I can't attack? Why can't I attack? Hello? Why? Hello? It's grayed out. Why can't I attack? Is this like some kind of special zone where you're not allowed to fight? Wait, it is? What? Wait, the Imperial Palace is a no combat zone? Okay, whatever, I guess. That makes no sense whatsoever because it's an enemy zone, but okay. I'm mega confused. Is it everywhere or just like this one spot? Okay, interesting. So it seems to be everywhere. Like you're not allowed to fight in here. Yeah, maybe because of story reasons. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, but okay, whatever. Let's just fuck that and let's move on. Yeah, it might be story related or something. Oh my god, isn't he cute? Yeah, no, it could be quest, something else. What the fuck? Why is he... Oh wait, they're still alive? Are they kind of strong? You know who's stronger? Mr. Mega Super Slash. Okay, I'm kind of fucked. Can we get a proc, please? Okay, they're just like so strong. He doesn't do anything, which is very nice of him, honestly, but we also are not doing much here, to be honest. But this one has AoE behind us. That is interesting. Yeah, I think it's not worth fighting random people. You get most of the XP via quests anyway, so... Yeah, just wait for him to stop blocking an attack. Okay. Why do a heavy attack if you can avoid it? Yeah, that is so not worth it, I think. The Ronins, yeah, sure. The normal enemies, I don't think so. Okay. Yeah, absolutely not. Do we have Oddloot on, or is the range just a bit smaller than I remembered? Accessibility. Oddloot is on, area loot, okay. Okay, let's continue and go for the shrine here. Okay, we're looking for the temple papers again. Okay, we found them. Wait, it's not even a combat area. Yeah, it's really interesting. When you just want to jump down, jumping is definitely the best way. Yeah, jumping, going up instead of down is definitely the best way. Yeah, here again we would have swapped from Yasuke to her. Yeah, that's unfortunate, man. Why would you piss people off so much? If there was a quick swap, like I said, just like the left, just like some input, right? It's like maybe like Genshin on the controller, just like some way to quick swap. That would have made it so much better. Like I would have minded him way less. But I'm like, I really have like I'm like hesitant to even swap to him because it's like just takes so long every time. So even if I want to play him, I wouldn't play him at the moment. Or in the inverse, right? I mean, this is synchronized first. Yeah, I know you can do seasonal contracts and missions. Like I said, I assume most of the XP is going to be in the missions and not in the raw combat, like always. It's just like there maybe a few like Ronins or something that also give decent XP. No! Held it for too long. Okay. The Shokoji temple is completed. How many more do we need? I think it doesn't tell us. I still think we need a couple more. What is blue? Blue is, I think, always quest related, right? The white is quest related. Blue was... Is also a quest item. Wait, so white and blue are both quest items? I'm just gonna triple kill you guys, don't worry about it. Or not, because sometimes it just doesn't work. I guess maybe he saws or something. Yeah, this is where I just wished he swapped back. Okay, why did we kill them? I don't know. They existed. My bad. Okay, let's go and check the map because everything else is kind of useless. I don't know what the fuck you're doing again. You're showing me something. I don't even know what. Takahashi Goro is the guy I think we can spare, as far as I know. The lady said so. Takahashi Goro. Okay, this one's also blue. So I guess white is just like for the local missions. What a pussy. I'm pretty sure all you want to do is bang your sister, which is okay because in Japan this seems to be a common theme in anime, so... I can't tell, right? I don't have a sister, so I can't tell you if, how relatable that would feel. So, you know, it's kind of hard to judge that if you don't have a sister, so... If you're not in the same position, so I wouldn't judge people for that. What you shouldn't do is get children, right? It's completely fine to bang your sister and, you know, to like her, love her, or whatever. That's perfectly fine if is a mutual, right? But just don't get kids because of, you know, likelihood of genetic problems. Yeah, that's the only thing you should not get. Because you're like endangering a life beyond your own. Don't worry, they wanted to steal your shit. I just had to protect you. Wants to bang his sister. I don't know if that is true. I would assume most people don't because of I would assume it's highly because of like the risk of genetic issues on birth. Not on birth, for the child, like genetic defects and stuff like that. I think it's pretty unlikely that nature has conceived us in a way that we want to bang our sisters. This is my assumption because it has an evolutionary downside, right? So I would assume it's not very common. I mean, I don't say it's uncommon, but it's not mega common, I would assume. Because it would have severe negative implications for, like, the human... Like, in general, like, just, like... Also, like, siblings of, you know, animals and stuff like that. In general, it would be bad for genetic variety. Okay, but... what are we doing again? I have no idea. Like, the entire game basically now consists of me running around saying I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. And if only the fucking radar would be not useless as fuck. We would see all the question marks at all times. I know there's one here, but I want to go for this one first. And it's so annoying. See, look at this. Like, who decided that this one is 100, right? This one is 100, this one is 200. Huh? Why? Why? Please let me know, because I don't know what the fuck was going on in your brain when you coded this shit. It is literally one fucking number you have to change, and you have to change it, my man. But is there someone who did it? Is there a mod? I will install the fucking mod right away. Assassin's Creed Shadows Compass mod. Quality of life mods. Nah, that, oh my god, what the... Okay, wait. Okay, wait. Assassin's Creed Shadows Nexus mods. I also have to take a toilet break in a moment. What is popular? I mean, stutter fix, whatever, is just like mostly bullshit anyway. But if some people might help, like I said. Agility SDK, GPU and CPU optimizations. All is very thoughtful. Remove silly effects, create shadow reshade, no intro, time of day control. Game start, all fast travel points unlocked. This is basically just cheating, which is fine. But also, why? Okay, I don't think there is a mod. I mean, I'm gonna look for it. Can I search these? Yeah, shadows, and then it's called Compass, right? Or is it like radar? Range? Nah. No, I don't think so. Okay, did I ever write that in the discussions? I don't know. Okay, wait, I'm gonna create a new one. More range for detecting stuff on the compass needed. 100 meters or 450 meters are not enough. We need at least 500 to 1,000. And maybe, yeah, depending on the objective, cause, or Okay. Okay, so I just put this one here. I just like hate this. You have it on the map already. And you have to open it up every single time. Let me quickly check something. Okay. I'll take a quick toilet break and I'll see you. Just like, let me put this one so you have something more pretty. Oh wait, if I'm seen, I have to fight my way out. Okay, maybe this is not the spot to wait here. Okay, this looks pretty nice. So I'll see you guys in 5 minutes. Including me with Naui, I'm ready for a lesbian relationship with her, but in the game doesn't let me. I'm referring to the guy in the game, not me. Apparently there's a mod that removes the desync wall and you can go to the DLC island. Oh, that's interesting. Interesting. I'll be right back in 3 minutes. Hello everybody! I think I got killed by something. I don't have a picture yet. So I'll let you know. I think I got killed by something here. Some Ronin roaming around was like, what are you doing there? No, we got killed by Ronin. That's funny. Because I heard some combat sounds and was like, ah, shit. Yeah, sorry it took a bit longer. Wait, we're right where we left off. So the autosave must have been because of some time interval or something. Yeah, if only the fucking question marks had more range, man. Like, look at this, 250 meters. Look how nice it is to have something on your radar and not having to open your fucking map every single time, huh? And the reason why it doesn't work in this one is because of the larger distances between the objectives. That is the main reason, obviously. Okay, what is... Oh no, it's a fucking Yasuke challenge. Oh, if you only auto-swap this shit, it's so fucking stupid. You can't be... Why are people not complaining more about this? Like, people are like, oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, what, the 30 FPS per render cutscenes are stuttering? Who cares? The stuttering, by the way, is always there. It's always there. We don't know why. The cutscenes just have like awful frame pacing. Yeah, so this is really unfortunate, and also it changes your seasons constantly. When I don't know, it's just like so it's really immersion breaking for me.
今日のやぶさめババへよくぞ参った。順路の左手にある木の的を馬上から射抜くのじゃ。やれそうか。
Of course. What did he say? I didn't pay attention. Pretty sure it's the same thing again. What is going on with the camera? Is it me controlling? Oh my god, am I doing it? Wait, what the fuck are you? No, go back! What the fuck are you? Oh my god, like, fuck you. Oh. Yeah, I didn't know where they were, man. What the fuck you want, man? I was not expecting. Wait, just the horse runs automatically. Is it always the same guy? Can we just retry this one? It's so annoying. What did we get for this? Oh my god. I mean, seriously, they're almost invisible from here. Okay. Okay, nice. And now, obviously, if we want to go back to her, we would have to swap again. It's honestly fucking annoying, man. It pisses me off. Like, the fucking swapping in between characters is such a... Oh, we don't have an engraving on this one either, and everything's just like under-leveled. Oh my god. Well, whatever. Like, we're in Kyoto again, I guess. Looks amazing, as always. And I think they need to add a day skip, so not only the season, and besides that, maybe they can make some switch instant without a loading, but who knows. I mean, the season will always have a loading screen. The daytime, they could do a speed up or something between the daytime changes, I don't know. But yeah, for the character swapping, that should be possible instantly without issues, right? There's no technical reason where that doesn't work if they didn't fuck up something. That should be possible within a second. I mean, because you can see we can summon this person out of nowhere, right, in real time. So why can't we summon the main character in real time, which is already loaded in anyway, because it's like always shown in the inventory screen. But yeah, the time of day change, I don't know, right? I think like if you add time of day skip, it's basically will make certain abilities too strong. Like for example, everything that works in the shadows, blah, blah, blah. So for example, what would happen if you play stealth only, you would probably always go for nighttime because you get a stealth bonus there, right? And I think that is kind of defeats the purpose. So maybe what they intended initially was you play with Naue at night and with Yasuke during daytime? I don't know. Right, I'm like kind of not sure about what they intended initially, but I think a daytime skip is usually only necessary when a game has like specific events tied to game time, right? So I think I don't think really the game needs it. Yeah, I think a daytime skip is definitely nothing I'm like specifically looking for myself, and I also think it would have balancing issues with gear. So yeah, I kind of think it would be kind of bad for the game if they added it without adjusting the other attributes there. Yeah, but the seasons are also not skippable, right? The season skips are the seasons need, I guess, some events in the game to happen or some time to go by for them to. Oh my god, I'm so already done with this piece. Of, oh my god, that pisses me off so much. Yeah, so basically I think daytime, I don't think the game needs, but definitely the quick swap is needed. Yeah, and seasonal swaps, as you can see, right, they're only possible when the season is progressed for far enough. Yeah, no, you misunderstand, I think, what it does. Change season only works, as far as I know at least, only works when the bar is full, right? So we have to wait for the time to progress 1, 2, 3, 4 times for it to be possible, right? And then you can skip it instead of loading. So as soon as this bar is full, any loading action will skip the season, or pressing that button can manually skip it. Yeah, but it doesn't, right? It doesn't. It is definitely what it's related to. You can also see blink up in the top, right? So you can only do it when the bar is full and the loading screen would trigger it anyway. Like I'm 90% sure about that because I tried it myself a couple of times. Yeah. Which is good, right? You should also not be able to just skip seasons to refresh your assassins, your scouts whenever you want. I think having like a not control over like seasons and daytime, I think is good for games usually, and only in very specific cases like Genshin Impact, for example, where you need to be at a certain time as a certain place, or like general games that are very heavily daytime dependent. I think there a daytime skip is okay. But I think for most games, having daytime skips kind of ruins the immersion completely because you're just like, yeah, it's just like randomly, you just flick to whatever you feel is necessary. And I don't like that, right? I don't think you should have control like God over these things. It's already good. It's already enough that you have fast travel, but fast travel can pass time in daytime for sure too. But yeah, I don't think a specific button there would help the game too much, honestly. Because a lot of people will only, in dark games, for example, when there's dark nighttime, a lot of people just skip to daytime, and it's just, I don't know, I just don't like that. In this case, for example, because nighttime has significant gameplay advantages in stealth, I would assume most people would just go now play her during nighttime. And that would be kind of sad, because the daytime looks pretty, right? I like when there are when you have like the nuances of the game, and you don't only have the same visuals at all times. Yeah. So I think like the combination of not being able to skip that, for me personally, is a plus, but obviously as a mod or something, who cares, right? Like if you prefer it. But as an option in the game, I think it's not really required, and it wouldn't really help the game. Unless there is an event later that requires skipping time, then obviously that would kind of suck. I did every time the winter season comes because the slow movement and the snow annoys me. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. You're cheating basically by skipping it, but you can't skip it instantly, usually, right? I mean, so you must have already spent some time during the winter, unless it does work sometimes, I don't know. But for me, it was definitely always when the bar was full. We can check, right? Once the bar is full, oh my god, it looks really pretty. Yeah, once the bar is full, we can check if we can swap or not before that. Yeah, but that's what I mean. Skipping seasons, skipping ups and downs of them is kind of, you know, I think it kind of defeats the purpose of having them in the first place. And I think every game needs rules and restrictions to be fun, right? A game where you have complete power over everything becomes very boring quickly. That's why we like challenging games usually too, because if we just like breeze through everything and there's no challenge, there's no rules basically forcing you to do anything, yeah, it's just like not fun for most people. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, you should only be able to skip seasons once the timer is full. That is how it works for me. That is how the UI seems to indicate it, and also that seems how I would think the game would work. Because like insta swapping every season could be kind of OP. You know, not OP, but also kind of lame, right? I don't want to be able to just play in spring because maybe I like it visually the most or something. Or I don't like the snow effects or something that's slowing me down. Yeah, I think it's the fun of the seasons for me. It's like I don't want to be able to turn off rain, turn off thunderstorms, turn off, you know, whatever I want. Like I know some people just turn up the brightness in every game that gets dark so they can see, and I'm like, I get it, but also for me personally it just ruins my experience. Yeah, whenever a game is dark, I want it to be dark. Unless it's like very badly designed and you can't see shit and you need to see shit. Why do they always use their drums here? Wow, what an amazing stealth session again. Yep, you can tell I'm really trying. Please. Only evading the last one here seems to be enough, interestingly enough. Yeah, only the last one is necessary for the slow motion. Something about my build I'm not sure about. Is the 3% insta health segments chance really worth it? I feel so weak. Is it because we didn't upgrade our shit? I don't know, man. I really feel weak. Let me quickly check. What level is my weapon? Oh, it's 25, so it's not even low. You know what it is? It's probably because, realistically speaking, the one that has the... Okay. The one that has the bleeding effect is still way better. Yeah, so I think we should go for the bleeding effect until we have another one. Because additional adrenaline gain... I mean, I guess it's not bad, but it's way worse than having a bleeding proc. So we know now, so we can go for this one instead, until we find a bleeding proc on a blue one or a purple one. And the game is more brighter without ray tracing on. Depends on the area you're in, probably. I mean, some areas, on average, it could be brighter without ray tracing. The reason why it might be brighter on this stream, I don't know if you have ray tracing on or not, but this stream uses HDR, so you're getting HDR conversion, and HDR is on average a bit, I think, darker, because in SDR you usually get a very mid brightness for everything, and in HDR you get like very dark places and very bright places. Although in this game, obviously, some scenarios are definitely, like, the darkness is definitely brighter on purpose, you can tell that, right? But it still has absolute blacks and everything, so it's not like a ground black level issue or anything. It's just like game design basically. But yeah, HDR will probably do more with that than ray tracing for the average display, I would say. Yeah, it really depends on the environment, right? Because sometimes you have more or less lighting, but I didn't play in the normal mode. From the screenshots I've seen, the comparisons I've seen, usually even HDR, like HDR ray tracing seemed a bit brighter, but in this case definitely HDR is making the game darker. And you also play with RT full diffuse and specular. Yeah, so I don't have a lot of comparison. On average, ray tracing should not make games much darker. And so some scenes, yes, of course, but depends really how the rasterized version is calculated. But HDR for sure makes a lot of games sometimes darker, not always. Also brighter sometimes. But on average, I do feel like HDR can lead to darker picture levels, especially during nighttime, in a lot of games. In this game, like I said, I didn't play it without HDR on, so I'm just guessing how it is in other games. Oh, that was amazing. Wait, I died? What? Oh, it's row. Oh, I hate that. I got stuck on the fucking ground and couldn't move away from him. And then I thought I had enough HP to do my ability. I guess I interrupted him. I wasn't paying really attention. Fucking Ronins, man. Okay. This stuff is here. Did I even loot this? I don't even know. Autopilot again. Just looking at the visuals, not the gameplay. Okay, what do we do next from here? Because it was just running around aimlessly again. And see, this is what I mean. I would love to just go for the next point of interest. There is no point of interest. So all I can do is open my map and go here, maybe? I don't even know. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. I don't like placing markers, and I don't like opening the map, so I really hope they kind of increase the range on that one. But you can be hidden on a horse? Really? Nah. Okay, that was just a visual glitch. For a moment I was convinced. At 250 meters for an eagle, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, I just don't like the marker system is always so plump, right? It's like, I'd much rather have it automatically be shown on my compass so I don't have to do it. And also, I don't like the visualization of the marker. It's like this big green bar. I don't know, it's unaesthetic to me. But it's a small thing, but at the same time, I think that is not the problem, the marker, how it looks. I don't like having to use the marker in the first place. I don't want to go and access the map in the first place. Okay, we should probably just like stop engaging like that. Okay, now this one is the bleeding sword again. Yeah, and I don't know, here it doesn't even need to proc, but yeah, you can tell it does more damage for sure. Interesting. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the legendary, not legendary, for the epic gear. So we can finally make the build work better. Oh, look at how pretty the lighting goes in against her hair here. Oh, that looks fantastic. Wow. That looks fucking incredible. Like the timing of getting up here was amazing. Holy. I don't know if I have that one unlocked yet. Maybe, maybe not. But obviously I would put it on. Yeah, I mean, obviously 20% more damage with Affliction is basically 20% more damage, so... Oh wait, we can also look for a treasure in here. But also, just a reminder, since I'm playing for the first time, don't give too many concrete pieces of information about good builds and stuff like that. Because I do want to play the game as blind as possible still, right? We can discuss like problems and issues we have and stuff like that. But builds and, you know, items you can find, just like let me find them and use them however it works, if possible. Because, you know, once you know something is good, your brain will automatically gravitate towards that. And I usually like to find them myself. And if it's OP, I won't use it anyway. But it's like, just like, you know, so I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking for, basically. Yeah, but thanks obviously for trying to help and give you know, advice. Yeah, because for me, you know, exploring and finding stuff myself is one of the fun parts about gaming. And just like following guides and knowing stuff is kind of boring. And if I have a specific question, obviously I always ask, right? If like I usually refer, you know, to you guys directly if I have a question specifically about these things. For example, if I'm looking for something for 20 minutes, I'm like, where the fuck is this shit I'm about to Google? That's usually where I'm looking for advice. Yeah, but obviously if I miss a game mechanic or something really, you know, that's just, I don't use something that I should know, that's completely different, right? That's not like build information or something like that. Okay, so we have this one here. Why are you all... I mean, I know he's like trying to show me that he unlocked something, but for me it's just awkward because I just want to go for the next objective. And again here, right? Nothing on my compass again. Absolutely nothing. And yeah, so I have to do this again, right? And I don't like doing this. This is just an unnecessary step. See, if this was 500 meters, we wouldn't have had the issue, right? They just went with, like, for whatever reason, 250 meters, or even sometimes 100, which is, I mean, it's not like I visually can tell it's there, right? It's not like you can explore by looking. And also you have so many areas you've been to, which you might not remember, and just going by, you know, like, guessing would work out so badly in this game. So I think they really need to increase this if they want to avoid people having to open the map every 5 minutes. Okay. Yep. Horses and mountains. Everyone who played the original Witcher without patches. Ah, that was special. It was really special. I mean, it's almost worth trying The Witcher without all the improvements that they made over time. Because people were shitting on Cyberpunk, and I mean, rightfully so, it was way worse than Witcher, but holy shit, Witcher came out in such a bad state too. Yeah, like, I think a lot of people kind of forgot that over time and just assumed like Cyberpunk was going to be a patched Witcher on release. Which, I mean, to a degree it should have been, right? I'm not saying it shouldn't have been like that. Wait, is this a new one? Wait, did I? Oh, wait, this is a question mark. I was like, I thought it was going to be an eagle. And the shadows do so much for the atmosphere. Like, it is crazy. The lighting and the shadow here is like very nice. Oh, let me guess. It's another samurai thing. Oh, did you enjoy going here? Now you have to see a loading screen. Oh, beautiful. If only there was a solution that was already in place in other games. I just wonder. But for example, the Tanto that slows down time with escape attack. Escape attack, I don't use that because 1, it's broken, and 2, because it's so boring to use only 2 buttons to press, and that's it. Yeah, that's what I mean, right? You can really make games boring, but not everybody has like the, you know, the insight or like or not everybody's not willing to abuse that. And that's basically why I think broken games and game mechanics are like, can destroy fun for some people specifically, because they just will abuse those over, and then they are like, oh, the game is boring. But yeah, of course it's boring because you're using the most OP shit, right? It's like if you play Elden Ring, jump attack, 2 big swords, and you're like, oh, everything is so easy. I mean, obviously, because you're using the most broken dumb shit ever, right? And then you can also argue, oh, the combat looks so silly. Yes, it does. It does when you look like a kangaroo. It does look silly, right? And that's why I think only if you restrict yourself and when you find these things, you will have the best time in most games, unless you really enjoy breaking games and you don't care if it's like a 1 button, you win every single time moment. But that's not why I play these games on the higher difficulty. I could just go for easy mode, then everything would probably be a joke, right? So that's why I think the balancing is always important for experiences, because not everyone is able to say no, right? It's very enticing if you find something very strong, and maybe the game was challenging before, and oh, I found the easy mode, and then you're like, oh my god, that's so cool. And then obviously at first it might be fun, but it's really hard also to go back then, right? Because once you know you can be OP, that's what Yasuke is basically doing for Naoe. It also feels bad to go back to not being OP, right? Once you see the light, basically, can be really hard to go back. That's why I almost immediately try to stop using OP stuff before I get used to it and just feel like it's stupid. Yeah, but he will be in the game and he will be better at fighting than her. And yeah, that sucks, right? Because every time I fight with her, I feel like it will feel worse than it did before. I didn't have a problem with Cyberpunk 2077 at launch, besides some bugs that were not immersive, breaking or something. I mean, Cyberpunk was very broken, but specifically on last-gen consoles. Like the PlayStation 3, I think, version, and the PlayStation... the Xbox Series 1 version were so broken, like technically too, that it was barely playable, right? And I also didn't have many issues playing Cyberpunk initially, but I also had no expectations towards the game. So for me, I didn't miss a lot of features people were missing from trailers and everything, because I didn't remember or care about that, right? I just played the game for what it was. So I had a good time on launch. And I think I would say on average, I probably had a way better time than most people, because I guess I didn't care about the smaller bugs and stuff, but also replaying the game obviously was pretty obvious that they improved a lot of stuff, right? Like stuff like, for example, like police just spawning out of thin air, right? That was just complete garbage, right? That was literally, you can tell they didn't finish the game in time and they just like pushed it out the door. And yeah, that was stupid as fuck. Did it break the game for me? No. Did it make it less enjoyable? Slightly, but it wasn't too relevant because it was just goofing around anyway. And I also kept the main story for, when the patches were out. I just explored the entire world and did a lot of side missions, but I never cared to finish the game back then, because it was like, it's going to be such a better experience later. And it was. So yeah, waiting for Cyberpunk 2.0 basically was a good idea. And yeah, I also played the expansion and I really liked it. Yeah, that's also when I did the first real playthrough of the main story, so I could do it in one go. And it started with your bleed build, and didn't know it would be so fucking cracked when I synergized with engravings and gear pieces. So I like the build, but I think I can improve it more when I hit level 60. Yeah, that's nice to have also builds to work on and do better, right? And that's also why I say I usually don't like to know about builds, because I like to figure them out myself and improve them, right? Because if you have the perfect build, right, someone on the internet will have a better build than you statistically, right? They might not be smarter or anything, it doesn't matter. Just randomly someone will stumble upon something incredibly OP and they will tell you. And then you're like, okay, my build now suddenly sucks, right? Because you have a comparison. And yeah, that's why even if I don't find it myself, I wouldn't mind, right? It's not like I need the build. If it's like required for beating the game or whatever, sure. But if it's not, who cares, right? Yeah, that's why I'm always interested in finding them myself. Oh no, is it going to be broken again? Please don't be broken again. Oh, and Ubisoft said we should turn off Steam input to fix the options disappearing. I'm in general kind of conflicted by why they're using Steam input in the first place. So I wonder if turning off Steam input will have some negative effects too. Because why is it on in the first place? Yes, it might maybe change your icons depending on your controller type, but that is the only thing I could see. Okay, let's learn the kata here. Man, it's been a while since I did a kata in real life. Did so many in my youth. It was always really fun. I really like martial arts. Oh, what? Yeah, the A button just doesn't work. Or do I need to hold it? Oh wait, maybe it's a hold action. Wait, maybe that's the problem. Yeah, let's try again. Maybe it is a hold action. Nope. I don't know why the A button doesn't work here. I mean, obviously I'm not too stupid to press the A button. I hope you you realize that I'm able to press the A button. I know where the A button is too. I know, it's crazy. So, I mean, I'm just gonna try all the other buttons. X doesn't work, okay. Okay, I'm just gonna try all the buttons. Now I'm gonna try Y, because why not? Y doesn't do shit either. Man, that is so annoying. That is also fucking awful, man. Okay, it doesn't work. B doesn't work either, so it's mouse and keyboard again. I fucking can't with this shit. Like, fuck. Wait, maybe Steam input, turning off Steam input helps. You know what? I'm gonna save. I can't save here, but it's okay. Get me out of here. No, get me out of the... Wait, how do you... Here, leave activity. Yeah, it's turn off scene input. Maybe it works then. I don't know. But everything else works, right? Pressing A works. So this is my A button, right? A is dodge for me. I changed it. It's funny. Okay, yeah. Do I want to go for mouse and keyboard every single time I find a kata? That fucking pisses me off, man. I don't have hybrid on, but you might be saying it doesn't matter. But I don't have hybrid on because I don't like having controls interfere with each other. Ah, that sucks ass, man. Like, why? How does this get through quality control? It also worked, by the way, for now as meditation. So yeah. Sure, fuck you. And then you have to confirm with the other. Okay. Well, whatever. Let's do it with mouse and keyboard, because... Fuck me. Wait, you play with mouse and keyboard? I honestly... when I was younger, I was at a point where it was mouse and keyboard only. But then I kind of realized there are some games that are way better on mouse and keyboard, and there are some games which, for me personally, are way better on controller. And... I just don't know. Every game where movement and, you know, the character movement is important and you have to have precise analog movement, I kind of don't like mouse and keyboard too much anymore. I usually use mouse and keyboard only for first-person games, especially shooters or RTS or something, like top-down games. But everything that's like a third-person action game where I don't need to aim, I'm like controller. So it's kind of weird that there's games where I'm like clearly I prefer the controller personally. In this case, because the movement is so important, I feel like I just like the analog movement more. Yeah, it wouldn't be great to get an analog stick on a keyboard. It's kind of really hard to do though, because even if you would use like non-digital inputs, like non-binary inputs for WSD, they're like new, you know, laser sensors which can basically judge how much you're pressing a button, which is good for racing games, right? And steering, but you still only have 8 directions. So it's like, yes, you have like a stick that's basically up, down, left, right, and maybe, okay, and top, down, you know what I mean, 8 direction basically. But you can still only change how far the stick is in that direction, but you don't have the in-betweens because it's not a 360 input method. If I don't play on consoles or fighting games or racing games, I will not play on controller no matter what. I don't know, for like these types of games, I really prefer the controller strongly. Like really strongly. Like it's not even, for me, it's not even close. I would never play an Assassin's Creed game with mouse and keyboard. It's like, the only reason would be aiming maybe, but even that I don't think is like, you don't aim that much. And just like having more smooth, I don't know, it's just like everything in me is like, this is a game made for controller. Like a mouse and keyboard, also often the controls are terrible, right? A lot of games have horrible mouse and keyboard support, and like when they're like coming from consoles, and that's why I don't know, I just like don't like mouse and keyboard for a lot of games. I mean you'll see, right? Already learning this kata pisses me off. Look at the buttons I have to press by default, and I don't want to change my keybinds with shitty games every single time. So just look at the buttons I'm pressing. Like I'm pressing okay. Here, Alt. Wow, Shift left click. That's great. What an amazing Alt again, right? Like this is garbage, right? I don't like that at all. It pisses me off instantly. I have to do it. Like no, this is already for me an absolute no-go. What are these fucking buttons? By default, right? You can change them probably, but Q, Shift left click. Like what am I doing? What is this? Yeah, I just can't, right? That's why I don't like mouse and keyboard in a lot of these games, because devs obviously didn't give a shit. Yeah, why am I not using WASD at all, right? Why am I using weird keys? Absolute trash. Like, okay, now we can go back to... I like how we're just like... You know what? Our outfits fits perfectly here. It's almost like natural in nature. Only in the city it seemed kind of weird. And by the way, I'm not playing naked because I have some kind of fetish for naked guys. It's because the armor set is too big for me visually, and I think it occludes too much of my field of view. That's the only reason. If we had like pants, I would put them on, but that doesn't work at the moment, right? So it's not because of a weird thing or anything. It's just like gameplay first in my mind. Yeah, and also, you know what? I kind of got used to it, and I kind of like it. Okay, so we're ready here. Man, just like, I don't know, analog inputs for movement are so nice. I don't know, it just feels very, very nice. Yeah, a Horizon, for example, we're gonna play with mouse and keyboard for sure, because it's like a third-person shooter, right? But other games where I don't have to aim, I'm like often really quickly considering controller. Yeah, just over the years, it's like in my mind, there's a pretty good construct now that decides that without me having to think about it at all. If only we could see the point again, right? If only we didn't have to do this. But we have to, because we're like, what? 30 meters away from it? No, it's 250. We're not even in the 500 range. That's why I say 1,000 would be nice for these bigger ones. W and arrows you use only with Naue. What? I know what you mean because of the kata thing, right? The kata versus the... Yeah, I get what you mean. I can already see what they did there. But yeah, obviously, but still, I think like Q, Alt, Shift, left click, like what are we doing? Like, this should... It's only a quick time event too, right? Okay, I get it, you don't like the forest. Can you get out? Okay, thank you. It's kind of interesting how the vegetation is basically forcing you to go along the path the game, you know, designed, instead of just going everywhere you want. And I don't think that is bad. That is how nature works. I think he needs help. You know what? If we're naked, why wouldn't the horse be naked? Right? Huh? No saddle. I don't want a saddle. How do I... Okay, now it's unequipped, right? Yeah, I mean, you know what? We're naked. Why would the fucking horse need a saddle? Yeah. And also we're slightly lower without the saddle, so we can see more. I know I'm weird. Oh yeah, I completely forgot we're playing Yasuo. Why are we playing him again? Oh my god, he's so strong. What the fuck? I parried that one. I don't know why. Oh my god, he's so strong. Hi. Are you okay? I'm just like...
安全なところへ行け。
そうする。何か礼をさせとくれ。
最近変わったことはあったか？
I mean, I press Alt and Q and all those buttons quite a lot in other games, obviously. But I feel like when I have WSD available and it's not used instead of those, it kind of feels dumb, right? It's not about like, you know, being able to press the buttons. It's just like bad default inputs. When there are better, easily accessible keys available, they should be used, right? That is basically what I'm arguing for. And God of War 2018, when I played first, I played with controller because I played on console, but when the game released on PC, I played mouse keyboard, no problem. I mean, I'm sure you can play all those games with mouse keyboard, but I do have the feeling a lot of them have like kind of scuffed mouse keyboard controls. Relative to the controller controls often. Oh, he's not gonna know what hit him. Oh, they don't even know. Okay, never mind. I'm so fucking slow. I don't forget. Oh, this is my healing ability, right? And this is my Mega Slash. I mean, yeah. I mean, what the fuck is that damage? Look at that. Holy! That didn't deal damage to the other guy? That healing ability is fucking insane. Yeah, he's absolutely busted. What can I say? He's completely broken. Wait, why are there so many enemies spawning? He's absolutely busted. And at the end of the day, right, the good news is you can select whatever input you want. And I think also should be supported. And I don't judge people for playing with mouse and keyboard. It's just like I'm trying to argue why I don't use mouse and keyboard for some games. It's just like what feels the best, right? I'm going after feeling. And I think, you know, the more time you spend on the controls for respective games, the more you get used to it, right? Initially, when playing with controller, I was always like, I don't know, do I like that more than mouse and keyboard? But after a while, really, you know, just like it's like I said, it became automatic. I just know which games I will play with mouse and keyboard or controller. Sometimes it's a bit closer, right? It could be a bit tighter, depending on how the game is designed. But on average, it's very, very clear to me. It's not even like I have to think about it anymore. What are we doing? Should we go for Naue? Oh my god. There's something very primal about this one. Like we're in the forest with barely any clothing. seems very primal. They should have called this one Far Cry Primal. Oh yeah, I was also watching a German video about the acquisition of Ubisoft, not acquisition, like the Ubisoft deal with you know, with Tencent. I'm just trying to find the video. It's a German video, but I just want to put it. Sometimes really hard to find a video here. Okay, yeah, this video I want to watch later. Because I just, you know, want to have more insight, because it is a pretty big deal, and it might affect the future of the series. Yeah, I know they got like 25% now Tencent ownership, but and I think they got was it only 1 billion investment? I think they got a 1 billion investment, but yeah, that's not the important part. The important part is that they need to find a way to protect, you know, like to become profitable irrespective of the deal. What is this? What the Namikiro Fushu Shrine. Wait, does this one have something we can do here? Or is it just pretty? I mean, it's fucking pretty, don't get me wrong, but can I pray here? Or can he not pray? Wait, yeah, for example, that is a legit question. Can we pray as Yasuke? Or do I have to switch to Naue for this one? I mean, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell what they will do, but I'm pretty sure after the problem this game caused initially, it won't even matter if it sells well, right? I think if the game does well enough, they don't really. I mean, yeah, that's the problem, right? If everyone buys the game, even though, for example, me, I don't like Yasuke's implementation, but I still like the game overall. But that doesn't send any message because I bought the game, right? And if there is no message sent via money, they won't care. So I don't know if it's going to change anything. So it really depends. And according to their to the current data, this is the the fastest selling Assassin's Creed of all time. So I guess it didn't mean anything, right? And people are also very happy. If you look, the online sentiment is like very positive. And I'm also very positive about the game, but also have things I don't like, but they are not even negative about those things. And I'm like, that's crazy. Okay, he can pray, so there's just like nothing I can do here right now. Okay. And especially we can't climb the statue because we're like him. Yeah, that is way more annoying actually. Why is his exploration just so ass? That's the part I don't really get. Are they telling me that a bigger person can't be an assassin anymore? Because every other Assassin's Creed that had like huge characters also had no problem with that, so... What the... Where the fuck? Oh, the tree. Whoops. Yeah, so I kind of feel like the message basically is he's too big to sneak or something, but... I don't know. Every other Assassin's Creed did not have that issue. So... Yeah, they could have made him black and normal sized, I guess, right? So he can be a normal assassin. But they wanted to go with this gameplay. The problem is basically, I think his gameplay is okay, but not his exploration, right? His combat. His combat gameplay is way too strong, first of all, but it's theoretically okay. But I really have an issue with the exploration aspect. It is literally the worst exploring character I've seen in open world gaming in a long time. And I don't really know what the thought process was behind that. Right? Like, what made this a good idea? Right? Like, yeah, I don't know. And for me, this is awkward. Like, it's like the game is just a joke, right? It doesn't take itself serious at all anymore. I don't know, but maybe it's just me being a bitch about this, but for me it's annoying, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people hate that he can't climb too, but still, it is unnecessary, and I hope they change it. Just let him climb, man. Just fucking let him climb. But it's not the best selling, it's the second, because Valhalla got the candle when it's released during the COVID period. Yeah, I don't know if it's is it... I read it was the fastest selling, but maybe I'm misremembering that. But definitely selling well enough, right? And Valhalla could be definitely better because of COVID. Yeah, that's true. Because people were at home and had nothing to do. Yeah, and also the game, the gaming landscape might just have been worse. But Valhalla came up with Watch Dogs, right? That was the dumbest shit ever. Like, they basically killed Watch Dogs by putting it in direct competition to Assassin's Creed, which was just fucking brain dead. I don't know how you could ever achieve that. I truly cannot fathom how the management went this wrong. Like the planning and everything, completely shit. You wish this was the first and last time that they did this? I mean, I wouldn't mind a well integrated character with, you know, okay gameplay, right? A character that basically, like, a good example is Split Fiction. Split Fiction, both characters play completely differently, but both characters have you know, they do exactly what they're meant to do in the game, right? Because they're meant around they're playing around co-op, right? But in this game, I feel like this character does not what is a majority of the gameplay. It's suddenly like I'm playing Geralt from The Witcher, right? So I don't know. I feel like they really need to, if they want to do this again, they need to fix the game design, in my opinion. That for me is by far the biggest issue he has. Oh wait, he can dash twice, but he can't roll. Yeah. It's more about gameplay for me, and obviously, you know, the idea of putting him in the game instead of a Japanese guy, I don't know, that for me is like, whatever, I can get over it, right? But the gameplay I really can't get over. Because every time I'm gonna have to swap to Nawe to do a basic action, like for example to go on this tree, right, for sneaking, I can't with him. And that just pisses me off. And what do I get instead? I just get button mashing. Wow, what a nice trade-off. And here's not even an issue because it's like combat, but once you get to a location where you need to get stuff for the progression, and the horse is like, yep, chilling here. Yeah, that kind of sucks. The haunted Tataragami village. Okay. Cool. We killed everyone. So it's not haunted anymore. If they want to do this again, make it you can choose the start of the game and that it's not forcing me to play something or a character that I do not want. I think that is not the problem, right? If the character swapping was done in a meaningful and good way and both characters felt like they were like equal in terms of usefulness, I think nobody would have had an issue. I mean, in Syndicate, nobody had. I mean, I didn't have an issue for sure. But I think it's the way it's integrated, right? Like I said, it should have been like, instead of summoning this character here, maybe you should have done tag teaming with him or something. Just like, you know, make him part of the experience in a good and meaningful way, not in this weird tacked on shit, which it basically is what it comes down to for me. Like, he feels like he's just an inferior version of her, besides when it comes to raw killing power. And most of the game is not fighting. Most of the game is exploring. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. And also the camera work is just not good enough. Like, the fact that I'm naked here is the permanent reminder of it, right? The fact that I decided to turn off the camera and then turn off the my gear in favor of seeing more, that is obviously something you want to not have happen, right? But it's just what it is. I prefer seeing the game world than a character that I... You know, he looks pretty, his armor looks pretty, but like I said, I want to see the game and not my character at all times, so... But man, if it ever looks fucking crazy good... Oh my god, like, this is absolutely fucking fantastic. Jesus. It is absolutely incredibly looking. And take the ability to divide what the character does. For me, even when it's good way, I don't like it. For example, Syndicate, I give them credit, they did it better than this, but it's the last played game for me. It's the least played game for me of all of them. I mean, the thing is, right, I think the problem is you have never played a game where it was done well, because such a game does not exist at the moment, I think. I can't think of a single game that does the integration the way I would do it. And the reason is obviously a lot of this is down to technical limitations and it being an, oh my god, the colors and everything. It being an incredible amount of work. But at the end of the day, I think it's doable, right? I think you would also enjoy it if it's done well. I think it's not a bad thing, right? I mean, yeah, you could say if your two characters is kind of immersion breaking, blah, blah, blah. But if it's done in a very nice way, and maybe you don't even have to play the second character, but you can play the second character. So basically, the second character is always part of the story. He's always there, but you're never forced to go on him, right? But you will want to go on him because it's just cool and works well. That would be the way I would see it, right? And that's what I thought this was going to be, but nope. Not even close. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. Oh, it's a normal temple. Sorry for sneaking. Okay, 3 pages it is, right? Oh, you know what this is? This is a swap. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna swap when I need to, and when I don't need to, I won't. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, we might have to swap here. Yeah, and that means what? Another loading screen. What does that mean also? That means if the season would change now, we would change the season, even though I don't want to change the season because it looks really pretty. Okay, it won't change the seasons, but you get my point, right? It not only does it change the character, but it would also force change seasons. Which also can be negative for gameplay, because maybe I just don't wanna, you know, maybe I just don't want to change the seasons because I still have my scouts and I want to use them right now before changing them, right? So there's so many reasons why this is a horrible idea. By the way, one of the most important options for geometric detail is the micropolygon. They don't have a comparison here, but this is for sure really, really important for LOD management and stuff like that, right? There's only low and high, and I would very, very much, if you have the VRAM for this, say you should turn it on high. It is very, very, very much one of the most important settings here. Yeah, like micropolygon, very, very important. Yeah, I don't know why there's only low and high, but oh wait, there's medium. Never mind, there's medium. Okay. I'm just chilling, sorry. Let's check something. Blah 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 blah. Okay, let's go up to the temple here. Well, that was not where... Wait, we can go up the mountain too? That's kind of interesting. But I don't know if Yasuke... I mean, this is an, I guess, a one-of-a-kind situation, but... Man, as soon as the game doesn't stutter anymore, I'm so much happier with this. I'm so glad we fixed it. Like, that would have also fucked other games, I'm sure. Okay, sorry. Hi. Are you chilling? Oh, thank God it's not. I was for a moment, I was like, is this another kata? No, it's not. You have everything on ultra and very high, so I think it's on high. I don't think it's on low. Oh, sorry, I wasn't looking. Yeah, micro polygon definitely is. It's basically nanite. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a more, seamless per pixel geometry solution that basically makes level of detail, so LOD, like the different quality models you need, I guess to some degree obsolete. And it also obviously can scale like polygon counts very nicely with distance, right? You can imagine an object that's like only 1 pixel in view. It doesn't need a lot of geometry information, but an object that has a lot of... Oh, it's X. Oh my God, I'm like completely not paying attention. Yeah, so you can imagine there is an option. There's an object that is almost a complete screen. There you want to have a lot of, oh my God, geometry. Okay, this is horrible when you talk. My brain is like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm pressing B the entire time. Yeah, so that's a really cool thing Unreal Engine basically started, but now seeing it in other engines gives me hope that we're gonna see more than just Unreal Engine in the future. Cause Lumen, whatever, right? Fuck Lumen, but Nanite was definitely cool.
私は何事も恐れぬ。イノシシがごとくまっすぐと突き進むのみ。
Ah, beautiful. How close are we to a knowledge rank? I usually don't even check my fucking stuff anymore. Like, we probably have a bunch of mastery points too. The next rank in 1. You know what? I'm gonna do the investment in the next rank. I'm too lazy. Yeah, since we have 2 skill trees, I started not to care, to be honest, because it's just like too much micromanagement. I'm gonna do it every now and then, but not every time. It's so interesting that the auto synchronize now. Like, removing this button input, I'm like trying to logically think about why they did that. I guess the button never had a point, but it also kind of forces you to... I guess you want... I don't even know. It's kind of weird. It was always there, so my brain's kind of expects to have to press Y when I'm up here. And here you might say, yeah, why don't you use this to chart your next, the location you want to go to? The reason why I don't use this is very simple, because I don't know if this is inside of the biome I want to go to, right? That's the main problem. I can see a bunch of things, but suddenly here it's level 29, and this one's level 25. So yeah, it's kind of, yeah, I can see where I can go, but most of these are like useless, because they're like, for example, this one is in level 35. They're completely fucking useless. they're not meaningful. So yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of really weird. Sure, let's just go down. I really like that you can just hold A and she will auto climb. Very nice. I want to see more games that use in-house engines and not Unreal Engine 5. Like almost every game that came out in the engine is buggy and optimization mess. I mean, I would partially blame the engine, but also Unreal Engine has an unfortunate problem. It has the problem that it pushes visuals forward, and it's like it was doing that in a time where a lot of games, gaming systems were still a bit more limited, right? They were really trying to push tech onto systems that were not ready for it, like the onset of ray tracing features, nanite features, and then also the PC ports where you had like various options. So I think while the engine is not well optimized, I still think it's also partially because of the way developers use the systems the engine gives them in a not good way. So I think like basically what I'm trying to say is that in-house engines only usually are better for some games because the people who do the stuff know the tech, right? Because they did it themselves. But I think with Unreal Engine you have a lot of just teams working with artists that have no idea how to optimize the game because they don't have engine developers and stuff like that themselves, right? So they're kind of relying on Epic to carry their optimization a bit. And I don't think that's necessarily the Unreal Engine, but it's more maybe also the expertise that's lacking in the dev teams that are using the Unreal Engine. I think it's a combination of the two. And I'm pretty sure in the future we're going to see better, like well-working Unreal Engine games once the entire feature set is like a bit more stable. But as it looks at the moment, Unreal Engine is set on using a lot of new modern features, which might or might not benefit games at all. And yeah, then also DLSS came along and people were just like, oh, we can get free performance by pressing one button and stuff like that, right? So there's a lot of things that contributed to these, I guess, like less performing versions of Unreal Engine games, but it's not the Unreal Engine, right? We can see like tons of examples where it's not the case, right? Where, for instance, Split Fiction doesn't use a lot of new modern features, runs amazingly. I think it would run native 8K 60 even on high-end GPUs. It's just like, I think 5080 can push 8K 60. And it's like really, really, there's a lot of things you can do with it, but the problem is a lot of teams are just missing the expertise, right? For example, the decision making that Split Fiction doesn't use these features is a smart decision made by smart people, right? They're working there. If you didn't have those on your team, it could have been another, oh, let's just put on Nanite, Lumen, Max, ray tracing, blah, 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 Stutterfest again, right? Without any optimization, it could have been. So I don't think it's we should blame Unreal Engine too much for it, right? Unreal Engine is definitely doing a lot for the tech. Nanite, the idea we have here with micropolygon now, is also the ray tracing features and everything, is an essential part of a lot of games these days, right? I think it's very important to realize that they're pushing visuals forward while maybe not producing well games, which is also a big part of the developers misusing the tools they're getting, right? So I think it is a double-edged sword, basically, we're seeing here. And a lot of UE5 games we've seen were first-gen UE5 games. And they were using a lot of very early versions of the features, and they were not well optimized yet and everything. So I don't think Unreal Engine will say this shit. That's basically what I'm trying to say. And I also don't think it's a shit engine. I think it's just used in a bad way by a lot of developers. Yeah, so I think the good news is basically, since a lot of games are using UE5, the good news basically is, a lot of people want to see Yaska on the grappling hook too, but then again, just make him do everything what Naoi does, I guess. Just make him the same character, and then, oh wait, why can't we just play Naoi? Yeah, so I think a lot of people are like, like, oh my god, Unreal Engine, so many games, blah, blah, blah. But the good news is it's going to get better, right? I'm pretty sure we're going to see tons of amazing UE5 games that run perfectly well. Yeah, honestly, it's just going to get better on average than worse. And the reason is also better hardware for sure, right? Like on average, people, a few years ago, I think the most common, maybe might still be, GPU was a 1060, right? A 1060 is shit. It was shit at the time of release. It was like, it's just not a good GPU. And then people expected to play UE5 games that had like very advanced graphic features on a 1060. And obviously that was not gonna go well, right? Because it was never meant to be run on such shit hardware. The baseline was basically PS5, 30 FPS for a lot of these games. And we look at the CryEngine, what did Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and how good is optimization. I mean, Kingdom Come 2, we have to be realistic, right? The CryEngine is using no modern tech. It's more of an argument I have made in the past that I think rasterization is so optimized visually for the human eye that only in some cases, or for example, this game, ray tracing, the difference will be so big that people will be like, oh, I get it, right? But in a very static environment with good pre-baked lighting, the difference between ray tracing and non-ray tracing will be quite limited, right? And in the case of Kingdom Come Deliverance, there is no denying that the game would look significantly better with ray-traced global illumination, right? But the reason why it runs well is because it uses none of that, right? It basically just is a showcase for, yes, rasterization can look really good and run really well, but obviously it is very limited in how future-proof the technology is, right? And that's why it runs well, because it doesn't have ray tracing. Turn off ray tracing in this game, it also runs better, but maybe not as good as Kingdom Come, obviously, but also Kingdom Come is definitely a more limited game, right? In a lot of ways. So that's why I think, yes, it looks great, it runs great, but it doesn't use the latest tech. So it's kind of a banana to apples comparison. It doesn't really, it's not a comparable game from a compute perspective. And then obviously the argumentation could be, should we always remain rasterized? Is it even worth pushing ray tracing and blah, blah, blah. And the argument, I mean, is fair, because at some point you're going to get forced to use ray tracing. Then you could say, yeah, why am I even running this? But also like GPUs are getting better and, it's just getting more sophisticated. It's just like the transition period that sucks, because we're going for a minimal visual impact in a lot of games for a major performance impact, right? Especially since also some have still AMD GPUs, which still kind of are not that great at ray tracing. They're getting better, right? But still there's this divide. And I think it's more of a hardware technological problem than it is a problem of optimization here. I think Kingdom Come is definitely performing this well because of good optimization with minimal tech combined, right? So that's why it works well. And I think it's very unfair to compare a game like that, for example, to Assassin's Creed Shadows, which uses very sophisticated technology relative to Kingdom Come. And also I think looks way better, from my personal opinion. There's opinions, right? This is a subjective what you like better. But I still think pushing for these technologies is cool, right? I like that. And I don't mind Kingdom Come looking great and perform great. That's also perfectly fine. I will also probably visually enjoy it. But you still have to, make that concession that it is still using older tech, maximizing it in a beautiful way. It's showing that, rasterization, beautiful, but also showing the limitations of it. If what is theoretically possible these days. So I think, yeah, it's I guess Kingdom Come has like an upward ceiling that is very low, which is why people perceive it as optimized. If it had added ray tracing and all those features on top of it, it would just run as any other modern game, probably, that is optimized, right? So that is why I think it's kind of it says a lot of people are pointing at it, but also at the same time, I think it's kind of a stupid comparison, because we all know why it runs well, right? Because it just has less features. And yeah, I don't know. It's just like different moments in time that will lead to these scenarios. But I wouldn't worry about that too long, because ray tracing is here to stay, because it's better visually, it's better for the creators. It requires significantly less work once the technology is more evolved, right? The most work you have to do with ray tracing is basically all the fluff and optimization part. But the core technology is very simple to implement and can make like lighting conditions. You have no more pre-baked stuff. It's like it's basically so much better in the long term. So we'll definitely see ray tracing take every aspect of gaming visuals in every single game in the future. There's no denying this is the future, right? So it's nice that Kingdom Come runs well, but also we're going to have more powerful hardware in the future, so it wouldn't even matter. Yeah, that's basically why I always don't like that comparison too much, because it's like kind of, yeah, it's true, but also it's not the same thing. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, and a lot of people don't have the technological expertise to even realize that, right? They wouldn't even understand the difference. They see two games that look kind of the same, and they're like, why does this one run twice as good? And that's because they cranked all the settings without even thinking about it. And some games obviously force ray tracing now. I mean, Indiana Jones, I guess, and this one in the Hideout. Maybe in the Hideout, I think it maybe might be a bug. We don't know. Okay, for example, I do not have a problem with the game that doesn't have any ray tracing because I don't mind. It's like I want a game that gives me good quality and optimization over tech that gives you 30 FPS on a 4090. I get what you're saying, but I also think it's like a chicken and the hen problem, right? Because you want to have good ray tracing implementations that are optimized, but also it takes time and work to do that. And what do you need for that? Money. So you need to make games that use these techs that make money, and then the optimization comes with time, right? It just needs more time to basically be as good as rasterization. Rasterization is old as fuck, right? All the technology we're using there has been around for, most of the technology that has been around there has been there for a significant amount of time. So the rasterization obviously is way more optimized than ray tracing. Also from a hardware perspective, right? Like I said, AMD is still kind of shit at ray tracing, but it was really shit for a long time. So every time you turn on ray tracing on AMD GPUs, you just got ass fucked, right? And that is not a problem of the game engine or optimization. That is just like the hardware doesn't match the software requirements anymore. So that's why I think a lot of people were like laughing initially when NVIDIA was like, oh yeah, we, more ray tracing, more RTX, blah, 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 compute units, blah, 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 A lot of people were like, but I just want performance, right? But they didn't realize that in the future, a lot of games were like almost mandatory or way better with ray tracing. So this incremental improvement in ray tracing performance was very, very important for pushing real-time ray tracing forward. And the transition is never nice, right? But don't worry about that, because in a few years, we'll all have plenty of compute available and everyone will be able to play with ray tracing enabled. And yes, there will still be obviously more high res, more detailed, maybe in path-traced versions of games that will be still optional, but at least the base feature set will be running on even low-end GPUs that come out at the time, right? It's just gonna take a bit longer, right? And in the meantime, obviously it would be nice if games had more options and more downscalability, but as I think this game runs well on most systems, right? That are not completely fucking old. If you have a system that is comparable to PlayStation 5, this game will run well for you, right? So I don't think even that is a problem. I think this game, for example, is well optimized. Yes, Unreal Engine 5 has terribly stuttery shit games, but that is not Unreal Engine 5's fault. That's not ray tracing's fault. That's just shit devs, right? Star Wars Outlaws has nothing to do with the engine or maybe obviously also with the engine, but it has nothing to do with those things. But it's just like that is a horrible PC port that is executed by complete amateurs, right? That is all it is. There's nothing to it, right? Like, it's not that you can't blame the Unreal Engine for the devs of Jedi Survivor being complete trash, right? At tech. That's just what it is, unfortunately. And people just like to finger point at one thing, but here you should blame the devs. You should not blame Unreal Engine. A lot of people just like confuse Unreal Engine with bad development. Because obviously Unreal Engine has proven to be viable if you're not dumb. Because, yeah. And I get the problem, right? Devs don't want to spend a lot of money on tech. What do? They get the Unreal Engine, right? What don't they have? People that know tech. What is the problem? Bad optimization. Because they make bad decisions, right? So it's like a chicken and a hen problem again, because you want to have the good product, but you also at the same time need the people that have the responsibility, but you don't pick those people because you want to have the cheap good product, which is why you chose Unreal Engine in the first place. It doesn't work, right? Either you get the guys or you don't get the guys, right? It's like who starts first? And at the end of the day, we need people to make optimized games in Unreal Engine for the tech to mature. Because once a person has, once the core technology is optimized, it will be easier for amateurs to work with it, which it is not at the moment, obviously. I mean, just go into Unreal Engine and try to make a ray traced scene yourself. You'll see how shit it runs by default. It's really amazing, actually, how easily you can make your GPU tank if you go into the Unreal Engine editor and fuck around. And for me, is more fun. I want to have fun playing the game, not troubleshooting for optimization with ray tracing and that. And I do not like when the game forces ray tracing without the option to disable the ray tracing. But that is just like I said, the disabling of options is temporary, right? It will become mandatory, and the reason why that is, I already argued, is because it takes so much fucking work to implement non-ray trace lighting in a lot of games. And that is work you don't want to pay for. The only reason why we're still seeing it in games is not because they're kind and want to optimize. It's because they know their customers can't run the game with ray tracing enabled. But you will see more and more games forcing ray tracing on you. That's just what it is, right? That is the future. There's no way around this. There's no way they're gonna spend a fuck ton of money for path tracing when 90% of their customers could afford or have a ray trace capable card in the future. Oh wait, I have to still pray there one. Sorry for not playing much. Yeah, it's just what it is, right? The technology moves on, and not every game will be able to scale downwards anymore in the future. Yeah, it's basically what it is. And I still want to remind you that even though the GPU prices are incredibly high now and blah blah blah, gaming is still on average a very cheap hobby if you just fucking play on console, right? If you just play on console, it is dirt cheap relative to what you would pay for a lot of other things in life, where you can spend maybe a very small section of your time relative to gaming, right? The gaming per time spent, like the money you spend there is like crazy low, right? That's why gaming, I guess, is also so successful. It just gives you a lot of entertainment for very, very little investment. And I know for some people 500 euros for a PlayStation 5 is a lot of money, and you know, it is too, but also relative to, I don't know, just going on a vacation once that can cost you way more money. The question is, why the PlayStation, are you going to use it every day, right? Every day, and get a nice TV for 500 bucks these days too. That's not shit anymore like before. And for $1,000 for which is probably one vacation or something, depending on where you go, obviously, you're going to have thousands of hours maybe of playtime and fun. So is that a worthwhile investment? For most people, I would say if they like games, yes, right? So for me, I don't even know. That's why I'm like always a bit like, oh, I can't, you know, new technology, new hardware, blah, blah, blah. And then I see people just buy a new phone every year that does nothing for them, right? The phone market is so saturated with good products that the differences between the newer models is mostly down now to AI shit, which is, yes, it's important, but it's also just now, right? There was a long period of time where you could skip easily 4 or 5 years on a phone and you wouldn't even mind, right? Yeah, you wouldn't even notice probably most of the time. So yeah, that's what it just mean. Like people kind of are like, oh yeah, new features, you have to spend money to get them to run. But yeah, okay, you spend $200 more on a GPU and you're going to use it for 5 years. Where's the problem, right? Over 5 years, $200, who gives a shit? It's not like you have to replace your GPU every year, right? So every time you see something not running, updating is probably a good idea. Right? Obviously, what I do is completely irrelevant, right? Because what I do is basically I just update it because I can afford it, right? But when I didn't have the money, what did I do? I obviously played on PC, you know, with low, medium settings, optimized settings. I optimized every single game, and I had a PC for 5-6 years, right? No upgrades, no in betweens, nothing, right? That's what I had, and it worked perfectly fine for me too. And yeah, then ray tracing came along and I noticed, okay, I can't use ray tracing, but obviously, yeah, at some point now, it would have been probably 5-6 years since I bought the PC that was bad at ray tracing. I would have bought a new one, right? I would have said, oh my God, it's so expensive. No, because I knew that I used it for 5-6 years. Yeah, so I think it's like, it's all relative, right? It's all relative. And I think a lot of people are just like a bit too skeptical about ray tracing because it is just it's too minimal of a visual impact for a lot of people, especially if it's just like used in a very weird way, right? The problem was like ray traced reflections were the first thing they did, right, in Battlefield, I think 5. And it was such a minimal impact visually that a lot of people were so, haha, yeah, better reflections, haha, for what do I need ray tracing? Because ray traced global illumination was nowhere to be seen or like performant enough, right? And that's why a lot of people weren't even like sure that it was going to be cool. And these days, obviously, still you can make the argument that some games just look almost the same rasterized or better even. I mean, look at screen space reflections in Hitman versus ray tracing. Ray tracing runs like complete ass, has extreme stability issues, like visual stability issues. The denoiser is shit, and SSR is just stable and runs way better. What did I do? I turned off ray tracing visually, right? Same thing for Avowed. Avowed ray trace reflections look like ass, so turn it off, right? So that's I think that's the problem, that some features are just like bad, and that's why the entire technology is perceived as bad, even though it's pretty good. And all the games you played in UE5 have a lot of stutters. Like I said, all the games I played didn't have a lot of stutters, right? I also had plenty of games running Unreal Engine 5 that ran perfectly fine. So for me, it definitely was not an issue. But yeah, of course, now I'm on a high-end PC. You could argue that's maybe the reason why, and that could be true, obviously. But I think Split Fiction, for example, or Avowed, or what else did I play in Unreal Engine 5? I mean, Outriders, I think, was also Unreal Engine, maybe 4 or 5, can't remember. I mean, there were tons. I mean, I don't keep track of the engine every game uses and can just list them. But if I would go through the Unreal Engine 5 games list I've played, I'm pretty sure there would be a bunch of games that just like, you know, would be relatively stutter-free and running well for me. Yeah, so I think it's more of a perception bias of having maybe you got unlucky and you only played the games that started, right? Because I'm pretty sure you didn't play all the Unreal Engine 5 games, right? So yeah, maybe you got like a bit unlucky there. But a lot of people just like to, or also our brain works that way, right? You have one game that runs really poorly and everyone's like memeing on it, and then your brain's basically remembering, oh yeah, it stutters. But then you played 4 other games that had no issue, but you don't even remember that because you just like, human minds just like, you know, it wasn't remarkable or anything. It just worked and you were like, yeah, okay, great. Right? Most people don't remember when shit works because it's expected, basically. Nobody's gonna go back and say, oh my god, this game ran so well, looks so well, if it's not exceptionally amazing, right? If it's just like normal, most people will say, okay, it just ran, right? But if one game doesn't run, everyone's gonna come and shit on them. Well, rightfully so, obviously, but... I'm just trying to catch up here, so don't worry, I'm gonna read everything. But I'm not a fan of the AI upscaler over native. I've heard that so many times, and I don't understand that argument at all. Like, I get it from a initial DLSS perspective, because it had so many flaws. But I truly don't know why I would want native 4K over this, which looks literally indistinguishable to me visually, beyond a few artifacts here and there. But then again, TAA, without TAA, native rendering looks like shit, right? Because you have extreme temporal anti-aliasing issues, obviously. But now the transformer model has the most visually the most motion blur free camera movement I have ever seen with TAA. It is literally night and day between this motion clarity and the motion clarity from TAA. So if I would go back to native rendering, I would still use DLAA, which has the same faults as like upscaling, but then doesn't look any different to me. So I'm not sure why I would use that anymore, right? And obviously FSR, for example, FSR 3 is complete dog shit. Why? Because it's not even AI based, right? FSR 4 is good enough, right? I think at some point they're good enough to be worth, I think, the performance impact. And at this point, I think the transformer model is so good that I can't see a difference anymore. I really would have to go pixel peeps side by side, and even then it would be almost impossible for me to perceive it. The image is crystal clear in motion, it is mega sharp, it is super detailed, and also obviously upscalers will be everywhere anyway, right? It's not like they're going away. And the thing is, why we're kind of skeptical is because it's new, right? We are used to having this quote-unquote native feel of a game. And I think the transformer mod is the first mod that actually gives you the native feeling, in my opinion. I think the first mod that is good enough where you say this is good or better than native, and the motion clarity is vastly superior. Like, it is incredibly better. And that's why I'm like, I don't mind these things, right? I don't mind frame gen, I don't mind that, because the reason why I know it's going to be really good is very simple. There's one argument. Why will this technology, first of all, win? Why will it be in every rendering step, right? You might say native rendering is better, but then later the AI stuff will bring so much detail to textures, right? You will have AI-based materials. You will have every step will basically be part of the rendering pipeline. It will not be only an upscaler, but it will also be materials, everything, right? And the reason why that will happen is very simple, because your eyes, what you see, what your brain does is the exact same shit. It's just like maybe more sophisticated over time, evolution, the algorithms are maybe way better, right? Relative. But in due time, we will have the same technology or even better technology that will be indistinguishable for our eyes, right? So in my opinion, it's just a matter of time until like the processing that is theoretically possible, right? Like a long time was debatable if you could even upscale a low-res image to a high-res image. For me, it was never debatable because I knew our eyes are doing it constantly. So it was like, okay, we just need a better algorithm, right? That was what I was always thinking, but it wasn't possible. Now these days, I think there is no need anymore. If you, at least if you have access to the transformer model for a game, there is no need for that anymore. I think the artifacting is so minimal and the added motion clarity and sharpness is so much better that I think even the artifacts, the TAA artifacts are way worse, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. I think TAA is significantly shittier and I would never go with native rendering ever again. Never. I would never go for native rendering. I would only go with native DLAA, which, like I argued already, has the same issues. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just an absolute fan of that technology, and I think the way it has improved in a couple of years is just amazing, and it will just get better. And it's already so good that I would never go back to native. So, yeah, it's like, I mean, I would go back to native with DLAA, obviously, right? Like a higher base resolution has no downsides if it runs well, but it will always trade the FPS, motion clarity, and also the base clarity of that if I had to, right? I mean, I could play this game with quality if I wanted to, right? I'm running at 200 FPS, but I'd rather have 200 than 120. Because the motion clarity is for me way more important. So that's basically, yeah, that's basically my opinion. But I think a lot of people are still like from the initial onset where like upscalers were really bad. FSR just completely destroys quality on consoles in a lot of games, and it's just like really miserable. And that is true, right? That is undeniable. But that is not the technology. That is the implementation of the technology. And yeah, it's unfortunate that only NVIDIA users and consoles are unfortunately not NVIDIA based. Are getting the transformer model now, but every single GPU that is like backwards compatible, like I think 2000 series and plus forward, has it. So it's not even like only the newest GPUs are getting it. Yeah, so I think it's a really, really good thing, and it's definitely has helped immensely. And also you have to realize that a lot of effects use post-processing and filters and everything, even if you don't use DLSS, right? Like for example, if you look at ray reconstruction, and what it does versus having other denoisers that are not AI based, it's like so much better. So I don't even know what you would do with native rendering without like AI stuff anymore. Like it would look like complete garbage in most games. Or it would be so imperformant that it would be almost irrelevant, right? Yeah, so I'm definitely a huge fan of that, and I would never say we're not seeing significant progress towards better or equal to native rendering. And that way I do not like, at least for now, that the GPUs can't do ray tracing without the DLSS help in most newer games. You see, for me, this is a non-issue because I don't mind DLSS. But, I mean, yeah, you could argue that if you're already on a 1080p display, maybe then DLSS becomes very low res, right? And then the question is obviously why are you in 1080p if you care about resolution in the first place? Because you should be using DLAA, right? In that case, anyway. Then yeah, 1080p is probably DLA for me. I think any resolution below 1080p on a bigger screen is kind of rough with any upscaler, right? It doesn't really matter. And obviously having a 4K display is upscalers are the only solution for a good performance, right? A long time I was saying I'm gonna stick to 1044p as the middle ground, right? I'm not gonna upgrade to 4K because I want to have good performance in games. But then comes along upscaling. What does it do basically? It gives me options. It gives me the option to have an amazing image at 1080p or have a even better image which I can't perceive, but I could theoretically perceive at higher resolutions. But basically I still have the pixel density I need to perceive the detail. So I think, and I don't have to worry about performance anymore because I can always downscale and have the same visual quality as a native 1080p or whatever image, right? So, I mean, obviously this looks like 4K, not 1080p, but that's the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is that it made 4K TVs or general high resolution displays viable for gaming, for me personally. Without it, I would not own a 4K TV. I would not own, I mean, maybe TV, yeah, but not a 4K display for sure. Yeah, I would be playing on 1044p for sure. Yeah, that's what I think is a really good technology, and I just like it visually. I like this. Like I said, the Transformer model for me is the visual best quality I've ever had in a game that uses TAA. And that is, I've only played at 1080p, right? And I did check, obviously, the comparison between 4K, 1044p, etc. But it didn't matter because 1080p was already so good that I was like, okay, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna use 1080p. It just looks fucking amazing. Yeah. It's like when they released 1080 Ti, it was like, wow, and now you see the GPU release with 30 FPS on Navy plus 200 with DLSS. I'm like, what the fuck, where the fuck are we going? Yeah, I mean, the thing is, right, since the 1080 Ti came out, the requirement landscape has shifted significantly, right? We're not in the same era anymore, right? At the time, 1080p basically, just imagine this, right? The 1080 Ti was the end point, close to the end point of pure rasterized rendering. So of course it was gonna be peak. But remember the cards that came out when SSR, like screen space reflections, were introduced? Everyone was like, oh my god, SSR is ass, it costs so much performance, holy shit, nothing runs on it. But obviously, over time, hardware got good enough for SSR to be, I mean, some games it runs worse than ray tracing these days, but it was like look at how beautiful this is. It runs very, very well, right? And then the 1080 Ti basically was like a rasterized beast. Basically was, oh my god, it can crush all the games at the time. But these days we have like significantly higher geometry. We target significantly higher resolutions. We use ray tracing, and it's still a relatively new technology where we see like games experimenting and implementing it. So it's basically more of a it's more like a 50 series than a 10 series, right? Like a 500 series, like 570 or something, right? And then a 1080 Ti moment. So just give it a few years and you will have the exact same scenario you had with the 1080 Ti. You will get a card that is pretty cheap and run, I mean, 1080 Ti was for the time expensive, right? But you will get a card that is like the 1080 Ti, and you still get a lot of performance out of it. And yes, it will still use FrameGen for ultra high resolutions. It will probably push like maybe 600 FPS in some games, right? Because OLED motion blur and visual clarity will profit up to 1000 FPS, right? So there is the upper, even then, you could argue that 10,000 FPS wouldn't be enough, but 1000 FPS wouldn't even be that unlikely in the future, right? So it's just like, it's just a transition period, and we're like comparing like the endpoint of one technology to the onset of another, which can never compete, right? It's impossible for this technology to compete with rasterization at the moment when it comes to performance to visual impact. It's just impossible because rasterization is too long there, it's too optimized, and it's just like, yeah, it's just like what the graphics cards are also optimized for a lot of reasons, and yeah, it's just what it is, right? But in the future we will have graphic cards with vastly different architectures. Like neural rendering, which we're all laughing at the moment, is absolutely going to stay and going to be very, very important. Just like dying against this guy because I'm not paying attention. And what I mean with the 1080 is for the brute force, then now I don't get any more like that. What do you got? No, I mean, I know what you mean, right? You're trying to say back then you could get a card that could do native rendering at the frame rate you're targeting. But that is irrelevant because the cards you're getting right now, if you would play those old games, you get a crazy amount of FPS too, right? The biggest gap between any generation was between the, I think was it the 3000 series and the 4000 series? I think that might have been the biggest gap, or is it 2000 series to 3000 series? But basically the raw performance increase between either of them, I don't remember, was gigantic, right? It was 100% more performance almost in some cases. And yeah, that was really, really good. But the reason obviously why you're not seeing that anymore is very easy to tell, because the thing is currently, also the focus on AI, why is it so big? It's because rasterization and raw performance basically is very, very hard to improve, because the process nodes we're using at the moment are all like reaching their physical limits, like from our implementation perspective at least, right? I'm not saying there's no physical principle we can use that will make a better use of it, but it's getting harder and harder to just optimize something. you have to imagine that at some point all the things we had basically were so bad that it was very easy to get an improvement every couple of years, right? Like Moore's law, for example, like that predicted those things. And I think it was very, very easy to see those improvements and now get cynical about the raw performance kind of stagnating, right? But the problem is it also comes in a time where we need raw performance for a lot of new technologies. So there's basically this like dissonance between, okay, we're not getting raw performance, but we need more raw performance than ever. And then here come along the upscalers and kind of bridge the gap. Thank God, right? Without it would be impossible. And now the upscalers started with bad visual quality, making a lot of people, you know, oh, I don't want to use it, blah, 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 looks shit, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, but I think the fact that they are getting so good or even better than native these days is really good, because now we're seeing like, you know, we don't have to rely on raw physical performance, which doesn't exist, right? It doesn't exist. It's not like we don't want to. It's not like Nvidia doesn't want to. It literally doesn't exist. It's not like we're going to go to the lab and suddenly we're going to come out with a graphics card that's like 10 times more performance. Yes, AI will help with that for sure in due time, but at the moment, no, right? And the 6000 series is going to be a new process node, so yes, it's going to be way better than the 5000 series, hopefully, we hope at least, right? But at the end of the day, is the 7000 series is it going to be a new process node again? No, probably not. Why? Because it's getting harder and harder to create them, right? They're getting way less like yields. They're getting way more, you know, they're also way less mature usually. It takes a couple of years for them to become better, and it's just like. Also, another thing we're seeing, right? You might be wondering, why are there even different graphics cards, right? Why is there even a mid-tier graphics card? And you might say it's just like to upsell people on the better products, but the reality is it's different. There is one factor that majorly contributed to having... what am I doing? That majorly contributed to having different tiers of graphics cards, and that is because the chips you get are not equally good, right? You might just get a die that is not good enough to run at high clock speeds, it might be unstable, imperfect, and that's what you basically created a lower tier graphics card from, right? You had one that was able to become a 1080 Ti, the other one was just good enough for a 1080, the other one was just good enough for a 1070, right? And that's why we had these different tiers at all times, so we don't lose out when creating bad chips basically, or not perfect chips. Yeah, and that is basically why they exist. But in the future we might see nodes that are around for such a long time that they yield such consistent results that the only thing that will matter at the end of the day is the amount of transistors and everything you put on, and there won't even be a yield issue anymore. So there might be a reason change for these things. There might be just raw cost in basically components versus the, you know, development time and the fact that you have like manufacturing issues. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure there will be significant changes in that regard too. So that's why I think the comparison of a 1080 Ti versus what we're getting right now is kind of not fair, right? We're comparing completely different scenarios and conditions. And the price itself is obviously also not fair to compare, because we are seeing increased prices everywhere because of inflation, right? So, I mean, it's not true inflation, but it's sometimes also artificial inflation. But it's also at the same time tied to capitalism, market structures, and everything. So I think overall what we can see is definitely an increase in pricing for everything that is limited. And limited seems to be compute, right? Compute is very limited. AI made compute suddenly way more interesting. Compute was already very interesting, but AI needs so much more, and that's just why we're seeing all those things, right? It's not like Nvidia decided to be the devil suddenly, or AMD decided to be the devil by having no MSRP cards and being sold out constantly. The reality is just there's more demand than ever, and there's a lot of reasons why you know, they can't keep up with that. And the prices we're seeing are not MSRP prices, right? The MSRP prices are already high, but those are fictional prices. They don't exist, right? They exist outside of capitalism in a world where everything's available and nobody has to compete, you know, when buying something. But these days, we consumers are competing over buying a graphics card, right? Who has more money will buy one. That's just what the market at the moment dictates. And of course, once that is solved, basically, we will be going back to quote-unquote normal prices, which are relative to development costs and you know, production costs and stuff like that. Just like more reasonable prices, basically. Because at the end of the day, what is the product price? What is the product price you're seeing? Is the one that makes the company the most money. And at the end of the day, that's exactly what you're seeing. You're not seeing anything that's like nobody's gifting you anything, right? The price is a result of like a calculation of sold units versus the price per unit. That's all it is. There's no magic. And sometimes it might be, you know, to boost your market share or something, you can, you know, make some deals or like some kind of, you know, bonuses for users. But at the end of the day, that's all it is, right? We're just seeing the price that the market is willing to pay. And if we would all pay 10K for a graphics card, that's what they would cost, irrespective of their manufacturing cost or development cost. This is this is how capitalism works, right? Capitalism is not a pro-human system. It's a pro-make-money system. And fortunately, it seems to lead to magical improvements in technology. Where's his stuff? Okay. Wait. We have a loadout? Oh wait, did Yasuke have 2 loadouts? No wait, how did I thought I had Yasuke available here. Oh, is it because I'm in the zone here? Probably, right? I just wanted to quickly look at his gear. Oh wait, loadouts are available via the inventory screen. That could be interesting, because I thought we had to go back to base for them. Yes, it's the same with the CPU, also the same with the mid-range. I mean, yeah, I mean, PC gaming was, I mean, a lot of people that are old, younger don't know, PC gaming was extremely expensive at some point. And the problem was, right, you should be thankful for one thing. The one thing you should be thankful for is that the fact we're not seeing a lot of progress in technology, like hardware, everything, like smartphones stagnating pretty hard in a lot of ways. I mean, yeah, sure, AI is coming along to freshen things up, but before AI, we could see, oh yeah, a bit better camera, but not really, right? Not a lot of improvements. It's already fast enough, right? Who gives a shit? There was not a lot of reasons to be excited about new smartphones back then, but the reason why it's good in general is once technology matures, right? It can be viable over many years. You can now easily use a smartphone for many years, while when the first smartphones came along, the difference between a smartphone from 1 year ago and 1 or 2 years later was massive, right? And back in the day, when PCs were newer, and there was a lot of improvement, like huge swings in technology. We didn't even know what medium we're going to play on, everything, right? There was like CD was invented and blah, blah, blah. You could buy a PC that was incredibly expensive, really, like today, almost the same. I mean, if you would convert them, the same or even more higher prices than these days. You could spend the same amount of money just to have a PC that is shit in 1 year. In 1 year, your PC could already be trash again, no matter how much money you spent. And now, thankfully, we have a very slow change in progress, because a lot of people are like, oh, the 50 series doesn't have 100% performance, raw performance boost, blah 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 blah. At the end of the day, be thankful you don't have to fucking upgrade. Oh, you have a 4090? Okay, you still have the second best GPU and not the fucking 10th best. It's okay, right? It's perfectly fine. You don't have to buy it. Be thankful. Why? Because nobody's going to develop for something that doesn't exist. Nobody's going to develop a game for a fictional 5070 that's a 50% faster than a 4070, because it doesn't fucking exist, right? And that's why even if the 5070 is basically the same as the 4070 Super, great, you already own it, right? Nobody's gonna force you to buy it, and no game developer will bank on you buying it if it's almost the same shit. So that's why people can be cynical about the branding and everything, but if you just look it up and you see that nothing is changing, great, you don't have to change anything, right? That's what I see. I see potential for saving a fuck ton of money if there is no more improvement, right? I mean, yeah, it's sad from a technology perspective. You would hope for like visual improvements and everything, right? That would be great. But obviously those improvements are more on the software side these days, on like, or different architecture sides. And that is honestly great. It's great for the consumer. You don't have to spend a lot of money. Yeah, the new graphics card cost 3,000 euros, but the one you bought like 2.5 years ago for way less, for 1,500, is still the second best graphics card. So, you know, it's just, yeah, unlucky if you have to buy it now, obviously, sucks ass. But at the same time, once you have it, you will probably be fine for a couple of years, right? And this is what I mean. It's always relative, because if the hardware changes drastically every year, you're gonna be outdated way faster. So people are always like, oh yeah, you know, no improvement, no improvement. But the reality is this no improvement keeps your hardware from becoming shit over the years, right? That is what it is. The lifetime of a GPU has increased by so much. People that are younger just don't know. They don't know how good they had it when they had the 1060 and they could play games for years to come with that shit. That was very, very cool, right? And these days, obviously, with ray tracing and improvements on the visual side and non-hardware improvements, yes, we're getting games which run like ass on older hardware. Yes, that is true. But at the same time, also, the slower the improvements are on the hardware side, the more we're gonna see software improve, and the more your card, once you buy it, is gonna remain viable, right? And obviously, that is a pro and a con at the same time, right? And I think it's way better to have a more stable economy, right? Imagine a PlayStation 5 coming out every year, right? Every year you get a new PlayStation 5. That would suck ass, right? I mean, it would be great because you have more horsepower, but at the end of the day, you would spend, what is it, 5 times, 6 times, or 7 times the amount of money, depending on the life cycle of the console. And then obviously it would just be a PC, right? Because you just upgrade every year, you can also play PC games. Wait, it doesn't matter if they don't release PC2. What is PC2? the computer 2. Yeah, but that's what I just want to say. It's like, it's very, very easy to be cynical, and a lot of people are cynical at the moment about the differences between the 40 and the 50 series. But I think it really doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter as a consumer, because you can just not buy it, right? You can just not buy it. What's the only thing that's really shit is the amount of availability issues we have at the moment, right? That is the real shit, but not the performance differential. It is truly irrelevant for most of this. Okay, do we still have Daimo? Sorry, I'm on like complete autopilot now. We'll play the game. Yo, we did it, but did we also get the chest? They say completed. Oh yeah, this is the chest, isn't it? Autopilot is fascinating. It's like you're... Hey, we got a knowledge rank. Cool. I'll look into that in a moment. So I guess we got some legendary gear for Yas, or for him. Or for who did we get it? Fuck, I hate that. I can't look up what he has, so I can't check if he got it. But let's just leave this castle and maybe we can look it up. This will be the new Call of Duty variant, but on console side. Wait, PC2 is a new Call of Duty variant. What does it stand for? Maybe I'm just misunderstanding something. I'm a bit confused. There was this debate between PC and consoles that if the PC is so good, like all people say, why didn't they release a PC too? Ah, okay. Yeah, that is true, right? They don't have like because of the, I guess, modular component perspective, we don't have that. But we kind of do now with the Steam Deck, right? The Steam Deck is basically a mobile PC and we're getting like iterations on it now. So yeah, we're seeing that with specific complete systems, but obviously like the custom component ones they don't get a big number. I guess Windows gets the big numbers there, which has no impact on performance, I guess, like from a hardware perspective. Yeah. Let me think. Can we change? Yes. They would have more. That's why it looks so scuffed, because you probably can have 2 or 3 loadouts, or maybe even 4. Okay. So what did we get here? We got some legendary stuff, didn't we? Maybe. Ooh, we got this one. Okay, whatever. I don't care too much, to be honest. Okay, but what did we get for him? Like, oh, this one, yeah. The 50% to attacker on parry. Okay, sounds pretty good. What do we have currently? I mean, whatever. I honestly, I'm gonna do that once we upgrade stuff and have more stuff available. But okay, now we know what it is at least. Okay, nice. Did she get anything meaningful while I was AFK? The true AFK-ness. Ah, that's sad. Come on, just give me a fucking one that has a proc, man. What the fuck is this garbage? Do they all have adrenaline gain? Like, how unlucky can you get? Oh, we got new horses too. Oh yeah, I guess I know one. What else do we get? Irrelevant. No, this one is maybe relevant. Nah, I don't think so. Don't think so. Okay, looks fine so far. Mastery. What do we want to go for? Katana, Tanto. Eviscerate, No Mercy. Yeah, by the way, though, it doesn't only affect like PC hardware, right? Like obviously also when a new phone comes out, people are like, oh my god, it's almost the same as last year's phone. And I'm like, okay, great, you already have the phone now. Now shut the fuck up, right? It's great that it is not an improvement and you don't have to swap because you already own that shit, right? Yeah, of course, if a competitor has a way better product suddenly and it doesn't have an upgrade, okay, but most of the time when there's no improvement, it's almost across the board, because usually it's because the base CPUs everyone's using, the new Snapdragon or whatever, is the same, right? So there's no big performance impact, or there's no new display technology, or there's no new software features that are hype, right? And that usually means that everyone's going to have a shit year of upgrades, which is usually just you saving money, right? So I don't know why people are, oh, the new iPhone is disappointing. And I'm like, why is it disappointing? Oh, it's basically the same iPhone. And I'm like, why is that disappointing? You should be fucking happy. You saved yourself $800, you bitch. Right? No, I'm just kidding. Like, I get where they're coming from because usually they're tech reviewers and want to be excited about new tech. But at the same time, as a consumer, that's what you should be seeing. New iPhone, basically the same. Great, you got it, right? And then obviously you could be cynical here and say the new iPhone 16 is the same as the iPhone 15. Basically, in a lot of ways, yeah, it has some minor improvements. But the AI stuff, right? But obviously we all know that Apple lied there. And I really hope they get shit on for that. I think Apple... it's been a while since I've seen that much false advertisement from a big company for such a long period of time. Like, whatever Apple is doing there, very, very pathetic, honestly. I know you don't got the feature and you have to pretend you do for investors, but you're lying. You are lying since even before the release, since the announcement of your new iPhone, you're lying to everyone. And we really, really would appreciate you not to lie. And I think it's also illegal in most countries. So yeah, false advertisement in that kind of style really shows how desperate they are. And like I said, I think Apple is big enough to make the transition. And I think a lot of people are making this, oh, are they going to be the new BlackBerry? Are they going to miss the new transition? Are they going to be Nokia, right? Or Nokia, whatever you call it. Are they going to be that? And I definitely say no, because why are they not going to be that company? Because yes, AI moves incredibly quickly, right? There's a lot of improvements every year. It's really fast and everything. But I think Apple have enough money and enough market share to have the time to catch up, right? I think they can catch up. And the thing is, what would be worrying for me from a perspective of Apple would be if they would not talk about it, right? If they were dead silent about AI. Oh, we don't have a new Siri. So basically them lying to us is a good thing in the long term, because that means they are aware they need to be there, right? They know they need AI. They know they need Siri to be better. They know these things and they are working on it as hard as they probably can, right? I'm pretty sure number one priority for Apple at the moment is getting that shit out of the door. I'm pretty sure they're investing all they can into making that happen right now. And that they're doing this means they're not going to be Nokia or BlackBerry anytime soon, right? They're still going to be highly relevant as long as they might be late, but they will definitely, I mean, yeah, we'll also blemish them a bit, but they're definitely not sleeping on it. That's important, right? They slept on it, but they're not sleeping on it anymore. If they were still sleeping on it, yeah, then I would say goodbye Apple in a couple of years. But they're not, right? Yeah, it might still take a long time until they're good enough at it, but still, the fact that they're trying and they know they have to try is why they're not going to be BlackBerry and Nokia because of that. There might be other reasons, but yeah. Good for me that I have a €200 phone, but a 1590 in the PC. I mean, same, right? I'm using my old, I'm using a $200 tablet for the chat. That's what you're worth, right? $200. I'm just kidding. I'm using a cheap, what is it even from? Samsung? One of the cheapest tablets you can buy for like chat display, because I don't need it, right? It doesn't do anything else. It's just like visuals, like a chat, right? It works on it perfectly. I mean, when it doesn't lose connections, which it also did on every other device I tried, so that has nothing to do with it. And my smartphone is my old smartphone, my girlfriend. It's not even her old, it's her even older one. And it's probably, if I had to guess, 5-6 years old? Maybe even older. So it's really old, and I don't care because it does everything I want it to, right? I buy stuff for functionality. I don't buy stuff because I buy stuff, right? You will never catch me buy a product because I buy the product. I always have a goal in mind with it, and it's a function I need, or something I want to have improved, or that's relevant to me. Yes, a newer smartphone would be better in a lot of ways than mine is currently. There's a lot of changes, but are those changes relevant to me? No. Because I don't need those features at the moment, right? But once I need them, I will upgrade, but I don't. Yeah, that's why I have this huge gap in technology between my mobile device and my desktop PC and my TV and everything, right? So one thing is ultra high-end, the other one is just like old. That's what I can say. Yeah. And even if I use the phone quite a bit sometimes, when I do something on it on the couch or something, those things all work. It doesn't mean shit to me if it has great, amazing HDR, higher resolution display, better cameras, because those things are not relevant while I read a fucking web page. Right? So they're completely irrelevant. The screen is good enough for that, and it works. The moment it gets too slow and doesn't work anymore, I'll swap it out. No problem. But that, like I said, I argued, smartphones these days last way longer. Of course, AI features will be the reason to upgrade at some point, but yeah, like I said, the hardware hasn't changed in a long time, significantly enough for it to be relevant. If I had a 6-year-old phone in 2015, well, it's probably the first iPhone then, so fuck me if I can use it, right? The difference is so big. Now the smartphone just can be used for years and years and years. Obviously, to the decrement of mobile contracting, like mobile service providers and the phone manufacturers, obviously, because if your phone is always good, why buy a new one? That's just how it is, right? Good thing they can fall down and break, right? That's the good news. They can break. If it wasn't like a hands-on device, I'm pretty sure people would not exchange it as much. Okay, we unlocked a new tier here. I'm gonna try to play the game now. Enough tech for today. Obviously I will answer questions, but I won't ramble on about why I think sometimes no improvement can be very good for a consumer. And it's like clothing, right? If you buy something that is very well made and lasts you a long time, it won't be outdated in 1 year. Oh, it's already that late? Did we ramble for? Oh my god, we spent hours talking about tech. Hallo Muffin. Hä? Hast du schon gefragt, wen heute? Muffin. Okay. You got a Quest 3 with the money that I had for my phone way back when the Quest 3 released. Now I use it only for PC upgrades or consoles. If mobile is working how it's now, I will not upgrade. Yeah, the time went by so fast. Ja. Nee, ich kann's rechtzeitig.
Soll ich denn die Pizza nicht?
Nee, mach deine. Nee, mach meinen, weil mich stört nicht, wenn sie ein bisschen kalt ist. Okay, yeah, so I'm also gonna eat pretty soon. I didn't see the time fly at all. Yeah, but basically I never tried VR, and there's one easy reason for that. The reason is because I wear contact lenses, and I have very, very bad vision close when I have the contact lenses just because of refraction. So if I would wear a VR headset, I would have to take off my contact lenses for that. That is the first reason. The second reason is very pragmatic, and I already argued like that a lot of times. I don't like using a better experience in some ways if I can't always have it. Because I know VR and AR headsets are not good enough for me to wear them the entire day, I don't want to try them because I'm pretty sure some things will feel way better on them relative to a normal display. But if I don't know that, how it feels, and don't have the direct comparison, it's not like in my mind I'm like constantly, oh my god, if only I would be playing this in AR. Oh, if only this game would support AR. If only, right? So I don't want to open a can of worms, basically, that doesn't have widespread support for my everyday use case. So that's why I'm keeping far away from VR as long as I can until it's so mature that it will be my main display. Potentially, right? It is a potentially equally nice to use display than a normal display. Because obviously stereoscopic 3D is amazing and all those things are probably really cool. And also like a high degree FOV display is amazing. And you know, all those things are super nice. And once they're like mature enough for everyday use, I will go there. But I don't want to have the comparison, then have to go back to a 2D screen and be like, oh, now it's only 2D again, right? Yeah. No, you don't understand the problem. The problem is there are like prescription-based glasses for VR headsets and AR headsets, but that doesn't help me because I need them outside of when I put it off, right? So it's not about like the prescription aspect. The problem is that the refraction of my lenses makes it impossible for me to focus up close. So if I look into the lens of the headset, I already focus in a way that where the refraction is irrelevant because it's already not sharp, right? So I could look into the lens, but it wouldn't be sharp because it's already too close. Right? It's kind of hard to explain. You can't like unrefract the closeness, basically. Or maybe you could. I mean, you might be right. I could use it as a short-sighted version because usually I'm short and long. No, not short-sighted. I'm short-sighted, and I could use it for the inverse. And maybe you can refract it, that it works. I wonder. But the problem is I don't even know how short-sighted I am with lenses, or if it's the problem, it might also be like my eyes not being able to focus enough because it's an unnatural focus point. So I don't know if this would be as easily calculated to what refraction you would need. And there's also very limited data about that, actually. It's kind of interesting when you research that. Like theoretically, it could be possible, I guess. Yeah, now that you say it, maybe if I would use the inverse of my lenses there. Yeah, that could work. I don't know. I mean, theoretically, yeah, why not? I'm just trying to think. It should theoretically work. It would be funny because it would be the exact inverse I usually need. But yeah, I guess it would work. Yeah, now that you said it, it might work. But yeah, then you need prescription, and that also means you can't share the device as easily, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, but yeah, that would probably work, yeah. Yeah, but even then, the main reason, that is just an aside, I had a thought experiment, right? I could have probably tried that out easily if it works or not. Is really the main display argument, right? I don't like going back to inferior technology in some ways, and I'm pretty sure the 2D aspect of the normal displays would bother me as soon as I know what AR looks like. I think the immersiveness is definitely higher in AR or VR, and yeah, I think I don't want to experience that because it's not a normal experience, right? It's not like every game will run there, like every day I want to look at it for hours on end. So that's why I'm basically holding off of AR and VR, so I'm not like, oh my god, I'm missing out, right? And I wish the future was here where AR and VR headsets were like a normal display, just like projected directly on the retina or something. Yeah, that's basically why I don't want to try it out. Right? It's not about trying it out or liking it or not liking it. I just know it's not good enough for everyday use. Just the form factor. I hate headsets too. So I'm like already sure I wouldn't appreciate putting even if it's like the, what is called the Beyond 2. even the Beyond 2 is still too much for me, right? It's still too much, and also the support is still not there for a lot of games. And then it would open so much troubleshooting, so much setup stuff. I just don't want to bother with it until it's more mature. I know this is also the problem the industry has. Obviously, it takes money to get to a better place and more people to iterate over the technology. And I'm glad a lot of people are buying it, because if everyone was thinking like me, obviously they wouldn't exist at all. So I'm glad that some people are buying it and using it, but at the same time, for me, it has to be extremely mature for me to consider it because of the comparison argument. From what I know, the Quest 3 has supports and adjustments for all types of classes. Yeah, I think it should work. Like, I just need classes for farsighted or whatever you call a person then. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that a lot of headsets have lenses that are adjustable too, yeah. I'm gonna put in some money in just because a better strap with a fan for cooling, extra 3 battery for extra. Yeah, that's what I mean. You really still have to do a lot of like tinkering to get it to work somewhat well, right? Because it's not a mature technology yet. You can also look at the Apple Vision Pro, where you have to buy like third-party straps for it to be remotely long-term viable, right? You can't wear it for like a long time with the default thing because it's still pressure-based. Which is very, very dated approach these days. You want to have most of the weight either on your head or, not on your face, unless maybe the Beyond. I don't know if the Beyond, because it's like very small, maybe there it would be okay. I don't even know how they do it because I didn't look at it in detail. I just know what it looks like visually. But there's still a lot of things I think that needed to improve for me to be interested. For example, the Beyond, right? The new Beyond sounds really interesting because it's like a small form factor, but also it is only, I think, 70 or 90 FPS hertz, depending on the overdrive setting. But the thing is, yes, it does use planetary projection to make you feel like when you're moving your eyes, like there's an infinite amount of FPS. And that is great that it works well, but still in static motion, then only having the low FPS kind of still would be off-putting to me. So once they have high refresh rate and the same visual quality, maybe I will get weak, because the form factor is getting closer to what I would consider wearable for a longer period of time. Yeah, like comfort is number one for me when it comes to these things, because I know I'm never going to use it if it's not comfortable. Okay, am I going to do the masteries? Yeah, sorry about that. The thing is, Quest 3 does the same thing as Apple Vision Pro, and it's more. That's right. The Apple Vision Pro is so funny. It's like, yeah, we're not an AR, we're not a VR headset. That's why we have a shitty gaming experience, no custom controllers, and you're like, wait, what? First of all, an AR headset is always a VR headset if it's well done, and you should definitely have the exact same experience than a VR headset plus your AR stuff. It should not be an excuse to be shit at VR, right? And also there's a video of, what is it called, Snazzy Labs or whatever. I haven't watched many videos of him, but I have watched one of the Apple Vision Pro recently, where he's like arguing, I have had a few unique, mind-blowing experience with the device, and I'm like, yeah, but those are all VR experiences that don't need the Apple Vision Pro. None of those needed the Apple Vision Pro. Like, I don't get your argument at all, like why this is a plus, right? He was very critical of the device in general, but then the plus sides were like, that is just a VR headset, my man. Oh my god, I watched 3D rendered video versions of my photos of my family that were like AI converted to 3D, and you're like, great. And why does watching something in stereoscopic 3D require an Apple Vision Pro? All the pro arguments sounded for me like a VR headset would have done the trick, but you know, maybe coping with, he said it like he bought it for work, but I kind of, yeah, sure, he makes a lot of money off the videos, but at the same time, I kind of feel like he was kind of coping a bit there. Like, the pluses really sounded like more of a software plus VR thing than anything else. And now you have seamless connectivity with PC and Windows. I played Assassin's Creed Nexus on it, and it's another thing to it there. Yeah, I know they're like great VR experiences, but I just don't want to play Half-Life Alyx or something and then be like, oh my god, this is the gaming experience I always wanted, and then there's like one game. And then I have to go back to another more primitive version of the gaming experience. right? There's, I think, like I said, I live by the comparison is a thief of joy mantra. You can always imagine how cool it is, right? Every day you come, oh my god, what would it be like if we had fully immersive games? Maybe this is one already, where you just wake up and everything's just like real life and you can move around. Oh my god, like and then you can fly suddenly, right? Yeah, sure, it will happen at some point, but the reason why it's not bad to imagine these things is because you haven't felt them. But as soon as your body starts to feel something and then goes back to something else, you're gonna miss it, right? The intensity of it's a real comparison. It's not just a thought process, right? I can imagine VR, how cool it is, right? But I haven't felt it, so I don't miss it. And that's what I'm trying to keep up as long as VR is not omnipresent in the daily display use. Yeah, that's basically my argument for why I personally am not trying VR. I don't want to make my normal screen experience worse. Yeah. This is abusing the human mind's comparison ability here. And let's not forget the mixed reality from Quest 3 that is much better than the 3D rendering for the Vision Pro. Yeah, for Vision Pro has really, really bad pass-through. Yeah, it seems to be very, very bad, and this should be one of the main features, basically. Yeah, when I heard, like, yeah, turn off pass-through because it's shit, and I'm like, okay, now you're using a VR headset. Congratulations. Good. Congrats. You now have a VR headset, and now you're reviewing a VR headset for 20 minutes. Great. The VR is good. It's growing. It's not in a point wow now, but it's growing. That is what matters, and there will be a lot of games there, and still more to come. I mean, the thing is, right? AR has a technology problem. In VR too, it's getting better, but it does need, like, for example, flying electrical planes. It needs some kind of core technological breakthrough. In this case, it's obviously how do you get the compute there? How do you get the, how do you make the displays that are up close good enough? How do you solve those things? How is it light enough? How is it just comfortable? And it's a real problem, right? And at some point, obviously, we're gonna have some very direct, like, image projection into your brain instead of onto your eyes, and that is gonna be way more efficient, right? But the thing is, that is significantly technological, more advanced, and also very, very also sounds very dangerous if you have the current technological knowledge, right? So I think a human brain interface, a machine brain interface, would basically solve a lot of problems that VR and AR has. But it's not a technology that will ever be solved. I mean, yeah, you could wear a contact lens that does a good enough impression of a display. That would be great, right? Like a contact level, but that is so far out of reach for us technologically at the moment. I mean, yeah, just when I mention it, it's kind of funny. There was just a Nature article about them using, I forgot what it was. It was the same materials as, you think a moment, the same materials. Basically, they have a semiconductor crystal that is as big as a virus. That is an LED, basically. An LED as big as a virus. And you can use the LED. Die haben LEDs gefunden, die so klein sind wie Viren. Erfunden. So klein sind wie Viren, so ein Semiconductor-Kristall. Und die können dann bis zu Millionen PPI haben, Pixeldichte. Das ist richtig cool. Also die haben gibt's einen Nature-Artikel drüber. Yeah, basically there's a new Nature article if you really care about the details. But this is basically stuff, right? You can imagine instantly, oh, wait, this in a contact lens, right? The problem with PPI, like the pixel density and the screen door effect is real, right? That's a real problem. And if you have pixel densities which are like 100x, 1000x from what we have at the moment, suddenly you can see that in contact lenses, right? And yeah, there's a lot of stuff we need for that to happen. And it's not like AR they can just go into the labs, because they would have to invent so much base technology. But over time, and also with AI, I'm pretty sure we're going to see amazing AR and VR experiences, and they're going to become completely normal, right? A smartphone display is nothing but a horrible implementation of for a mobile display, right? It's not horrible, but it's like a one compute device thing. But obviously, instead of a smartphone display, it would be way better to have the information either directly in your brain or as an overlay to your field of view, or not even an overlay, maybe a side view, right? Like a third pair of eyes, basically, or four pair of eyes or something. Yeah, so that is why I think AR will be really cool, but I don't want to you know, get the coolness of it already now if I can't experience it always. The master, yeah. Damage with, oh, this is a good one. No mercy, successful dodge. See, this is what what is amazing. I can look at something for a long time without reading anything, right? I didn't parse any information here. Okay, increases damage with consecutive hit by 1%. Successful dodge attacks made the target vulnerable. Wait, what? That sounds fucking busted. Wait, that sounds fucking busted. What the fuck? This is like almost 100% uptime then? Yo, that sounds omega busted. 9 strikes, 10% ability damage, breaking half is effective on large enemy. 90%. Half is effective on large enemies. Why would I use it then? Striking enemy, blah blah blah. Yeah, these are just like abilities. Okay, full. I mean, this one's. We're gonna use it at some point, right? These are like more of a. I mean, it looks kind of silly in the first place. I don't really see the upside. This one is 1 ability point, so I'm like kind of cheap about this. The twisted tree. Oh, you know what? We should 100% complete the twisted tree. Yeah, 100%. Let's just get the. Oh, wait, I should also check the assassin stuff. Man, resetting is gonna get so annoying once you have more points than that. I just wish you could reset the individual nodes. I mean, sure, like this is obviously good. This is also good. No, we don't use that shit. Okay, let's just get this one. Yeah, should be fine. I mean, is it that useful at the moment? I mean, sometimes. Like, amazing or anything. Okay, we got a bunch of new stuff we can do here, but I'll definitely not do that right now. So we can finally get out of this screen. Okay, you can dodge the horse. We tried it. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff close to me. The skills from the left are global passives. You can take all of them from the other weapon also. Yeah, I know. That's really useful in general. Yeah, I wish you could really change. I mean, I wonder if that is part. That is a good question. Do you know that? Is that part of the loadout? If I would have different loadouts, would it also remember the masteries? Or are masteries unfortunately not loadout based? Because at the start, pressing X to reset your mastery was kind of okay, but the more points you put in, the more annoying it's going to be to respec every single time. Yeah, so I wonder if you can get the monkey. No, if you can get the, you know, thingy, them into the, oh my god, loadouts. Can't think anymore. Oh, this is pretty. Oh, I'm destroying the yard. Whoops, my bad. I think this world might have the highest cat density I've ever seen in a video game that is not only related to Hello Kitty or something. Yeah, again, reminder, if you go to Japan, at least everywhere where I went, there's almost no animals anymore, like free roaming. Like, it's really, really crazy, actually, how little animals we saw. I probably could count the cats we saw during our trips to Japan on one hand. It's really, really... You know what it probably also is? It's also them not having a lot of trash lying around, and trash is usually required for a lot of, like, at least urban and free roaming animals to survive. But the thing is, at the same time, did anyone see animals have sex in this game? Because I think in Assassin's Creed Valhalla you could see animals fuck, but in this one so far I haven't seen a single animal fuck around. Maybe they removed it so they don't have to worry about the... What the fuck am I doing? So they don't have to worry about the age restrictions or something, because showing animals have sex, that is definitely too much. Killing humans, fine. Animals that have sex, no. Oh, I'm sorry. Dude, were you having a tea party? It's completely my bad. Wait. Oh yeah, we can do this. What am I doing? Sorry. Okay, so it didn't try the loadout yet. Okay. Yeah, I kind of suspect it doesn't though, unfortunately. I hope I'm wrong, but it's just a feeling I have. Wait, what? That's new. What the fuck? Oh my god, they're increasing the difficulty on this one? I don't like how the first one is faster than the other ones. They should have been equally spaced. Just imagine telling yourself that. Like, how fucking high on crack must you be? I'm just a branch in the rain. No, I get the meditation. This is like funny. Is it cold? It's autumn, man. It's not fucking winter. Wait, there was another... Oh yeah, there's one of those here. Is it this in the same area though? It still is. That's cool. I'm always surprised when I see something on the compass, to be honest. You can break doors, I know. Unless there is a dodge through animation that doesn't break the door. I'm trying to be respectful towards the poor individuals who had to build that house. Yo, we're actually taking the normal way up. I can't believe it. Usually we just climb through the fucking forest, but now we're going the way the devs intended. Why is she so wet? Seriously, why is she so wet? Did we go through the water? Man, I still remember when I first saw... I know that Uncharted probably wasn't the first game to do that, but I just remember the first time we went... Oh my god, I'm getting wet in a game? That's when I was hoping for a new Tomb Raider. And you're not that respectful towards the poor NPCs. One day they will be AI powered and they will fucking kill you for destroying their door. Okay, I think this is a good spot for calling it today. Yeah, tomorrow we're definitely gonna, or later, I don't know, but tomorrow we're definitely gonna go and play more than talk. Sorry about that. Oh my god, we talk way too much. But just look at this. This is so cool. The leaves actually fall onto the water and they stay. That is incredible. I mean, I'm gonna go closer. So I mean, I'm not bullshitting you. It's actually the true. I mean, look at this. They fucking float in the water. I've never seen that in a game, I think. I think I've never seen that in a fucking video game in my life. That is crazy. That is just crazy to me. I'm so happy they made it this way. I am so happy they added physics. But okay, thanks for watching. And honestly, for example, Killed everything in all of them. It was evil, Cassandra. Okay, I see. Uh-huh. They prevented this one by making the NPCs immune. But yeah, I kind of don't mind games where you can just do whatever you want. Like Infamous, for example, where you can also become really evil, and the game also has something for that. But obviously these games are trying to push the... you are the quote-unquote nice protagonist, or like the righteous protagonist versus the evil temple agenda. So yeah, but I'll call it here. I'm not sure. I don't think we're going to stream again today, but maybe we are. We never know, right? But definitely tomorrow. So yeah, and tomorrow we're going to play the game. And oh yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for the nice discussion, also Debrushy. And yeah, have a great rest of your day if we don't see each other again.